Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 Alex is a little bean.
Welcome to the Bass and Brews podcast, your weekly distraction from other high-quality podcasts. And now, your host, Alex from Swamp Rat Fishing, and the co-hostess with the mostest, the Jabberhammer, Paul Roberts.
Oh!
Dude, how
What?
many fucking intros are we gonna have, Paul?
I don't know what you mean. That is the intro.
No, the intro is the song that plays first, and then you introed the intro, and then you did a post intro.
I do what the fuck I want.
Yeah, ain't that the fucking truth? Welcome everybody.
Welcome
It's
to
Friday,
Bass and Brews. It's Friday
or whatever fucking
or
time
whatever
you're
day it
listening to.
is you're
Yep.
listening to this show.
Oh my god, I hate you already. We're a minute into it. I'm ready to strangle you. Anyways, this is Bass and Brews.
Look, the only thing you can strangle is my ankle.
We've got Robert, the traveling fisherman, the phenom of TikTok. Jesus.
Big Randy.
Big Randy is what we'll be referring to him as the rest of the episode as. But before we get there, we got two announcements. One, I finally caved underneath Paul's whining. The whining that Paul has been doing for probably 6 fucking months about how he wanted episode numbers. So if you go look at whatever podcast platform you go to, we now have episode numbers for the last year and a half. Anything before 60, I gave up on. But I got those all done today. Yay me. And then even more important is as of today, we are announcing the end of the year kegger is going to be taking place live on YouTube on December 28th, 2023.
We need to reconnect Facebook and do it through Facebook too.
We will do it through Facebook as well. We're going to do both of them, and then the replay will be the week after. But this will be the last show of 2023. These are, I was going to say these are always a good time, but this is our second annual one. I'm going to figure out how I can get a bottle or a spill-proof cup so I don't end up with a lap full of bourbon again, because that'd be
Y'all
really
don't have any of your children's sippy cups left over?
Nah, they're too old. We got rid of that shit. I should. You know what? I
Just
might
go
go out and
buy
buy
one.
one. I think I'm going to buy a sippy cup. Wear a diaper and show
Put
up
a
and get
nipple on
blasted. Exactly.
Yeah.
Show up and get blasted.
If you wear a diaper, do you remember that MMA show years and years ago where they traveled around to these little places and it was like 3 MMA guys that didn't make it? Was it on MTV or something? And one of the guys, the big tall ass guy, wore a diaper.
I don't remember that show. I feel like we've talked about it before though.
I don't think we have. What was that show? We'll definitely have a listener that'll tell us in a week when it doesn't make any
Exactly.
narrow because we don't put. Anyway, go ahead.
Yep.
I'll
And
find
then
it.
also for this end of the year kegger show, we're gonna want fan input from all you crazy brewskis. So keep an eye out on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. We're gonna have some questions. You know, along like what was your favorite episode of the year, your favorite meme, all that fun stuff. And we're going to be revealing all of that live on the show December 28th, 2023 on YouTube and maybe Facebook. Okay.
Tap Out.
Is that the name of the show?
Yeah, Tap Out was the name of the show.
Who was the guy in the diaper?
Oh, my God, what? Oh, no, hold on.
This is the best part of a podcast is when it's just silent as one person's Googling something.
Well, see, this is why I don't search for stuff because I'm the talent and I can carry conversation. You just sit over there and make our guests feel all weirded out being quiet, looking at the camera all dummy. I don't know his name. Just go look up at Tap Out, and it's the guy with the fro who's the tallest. At one point, I remember him wearing a diaper, I'm pretty sure.
All right, this week's episode, we got Robert, a.k.a. Randy, a.k.a. Big Red, a.k.a. the Traveling Fisherman on the show. Robert, how are you, bud?
What's going on, boys? How we doing?
I'm like, I'd be better if Paul's already popping off attitude, and it's really fucking bugging me. But other than that, it's
I'll
great.
fucking leave. I'm going camping tomorrow. I got to pack my truck. I'll leave. If you're so uppity and angry.
He's the worst. Like, is there a way? Are there any podcast lawyers who could figure out a podcast divorce for me? And I want to make sure that he doesn't get half.
Yeah, they can just call it tap out.
Exactly. We'll call the podcast tap out. Perfect.
And we'll put him in a big diaper. Let's go.
Boom. Let's go. Look.
I'm fairly certain there aren't diapers out there big enough for my. Actually, I don't have a big ass. I need to start doing some squats. My shit's starting to look like a Hank Hill hiney.
I feel like there's a certain age on dudes where you just lose your ass at one point, and it's just some like pale, wrinkly, like
Flat.
it's not even but it's not even comfortable to sit on the toilet anymore because it's so fucking bony.
Just
So-
looks like a paper plate.
Speaking of hairy asses, I saw a TikTok today, and this girl was talking about Brazilian waxes, and she was doing a PSA. I reposted it, but the video's gone. It wasn't a guideline violation, and she
That's
said
good.
she was just doing a PSA that girls, if you get your hiney waxed, just know that those little hairs in the inside of your butt cheeks, they fluff out your poots so that you can make them silent, and that when the hair's gone, all you do is you get, bare cheeks slapping together. So, and I responded, my comment was, she went to a white trash Brazilian waxer because they stole her catalytic converter.
Just hunting for another guideline violation, aren't you?
None of that was guideline of violationists.
I ever since I heard about you getting that one, and our lives will sometimes get like stopped halfway through because we get like live banned for bullshit. I've been
What?
on this
On what?
like
On YouTube?
when we no on TikTok when we first started doing those lives way back when they. So now I've become like the TikTok police, and any of that like questionable stuff, I'll report it like a fucking snitch. Like I'm instantly reporting it, and I reported one 2 days ago, and it was literally. This girl just put like a filter on it, so it was kind of like blurry, but it was just her asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, so I reported it, and they came back.
Or maybe on
almost
purpose. I
instantly.
think that's where I'm seeing them. No.
Yeah, the algorithm knows you pretty well, Randy. But they came back almost instantly, and they're like, "We reviewed it, no guideline violation." I was like, "What the fuck?" This
Right.
lady's showing her asshole.
Hey, we had one of Wolf of Walmart's memes that had the butt crack on the cartoon,
Yep.
but when they put your face coming out of the bathing suit covering up the butt crack, it was fine.
It was fine. They didn't want a butt crack of a midget. That was a violation.
Well, I was surprised that they didn't think your face was an asshole and guideline violated it again.
Maybe that's why it went through, because they thought it was an asshole. And so butt cracks are not good for TikTok. Full asshole, that's the way to go.
And I do have a special announcement at the end of this I need to make before the shotgun round.
All right,
whatever
you got
Alex tries to name it tonight.
It's the shotgun
Ooh.
rounds.
Speaking of that, before everybody quits listening, give us 5-star reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Give us 5-star reviews, and then write whatever you want to write, how mean it is, how good it is. We do not care. All we do is ask for 5 stars, write a review. We've got one from November 8th, Alex, we need to read. But
pulling it up right now.
We want to start reading these reviews, but they have to be 5 stars, and we don't give a shit what you say. And it doesn't help the podcast. You can look at Apple. It doesn't help. We just want to be able to read some of the shit that y'all are who we love. We want to read some shit that y'all write. That's all.
Yep, and thank you for that, because we do have one from November 8th from Toad King TV. He gave 5 stars. Got the first part of the assignment. Let's see if he got the second one. He said, I listened to a few shows when I was working. I had headphones in by the end. I had a headache and a minor nosebleed. Keep up the good work. I feel like that's a pretty genuine reaction to the show. I'll take that.
I do too. I'm very. I like that one. You know what?
And then also, if you guys are getting them, I know this is going to be a week after, but if you guys are getting those yearly roundups from Spotify, and somehow we're in your top 5, tag us, send me a pic, and we'll post it up on the TikTok page.
Yeah, because we do appreciate when we get those. It makes Alex's and mine heart feel good, and when we get them, we share them with each other, and it really does make us feel good about ourselves. And we appreciate it. We love you. We thank y'all. Y'all are awesome. Yes.
Yeah, it's
And
better
big-
than Viagra. It's awesome.
I've never taken Viagra. The only pills I take are vitamins, GABA,
Yo, Gabba Gabba.
GABA, just GABA.
Okay.
And I did start taking 86 milligrams of aspirin because I'm scared I'm going to have a stroke.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's at your weight and ugliness. That's going to happen at any point.
Hey, I'm doing good. I've first week of actually losing weight, so
That's good. What are you at? 314 now?
I don't know. I'm not weighing myself yet. I'm gonna give it a couple weeks before I, try to not to fall off the wagon. But my goal is 70 pounds.
Oh, good. That'll get you at right at 300. That's good.
It'll get me as much weight off as you are tall in inches.
Perfect.
Actually, no,
Perfect.
that's centimeters. I'm sorry, centimeters.
Yeah. I thought
70 inches. Yeah, you'd be good. You'd be about a 6 footer. 2
Fuck
inches
yeah.
less.
Fuck yeah.
You'd be like 5'12".
512 and a half. All right, Robert, do us a favor and kind of introduce yourself. If you guys don't know, we found him through TikTok. His content's amazing. And go for it.
Actually, don't listen to what he just said. Listen to the question I'm going to ask.
Oh.
Answer my question. What is the journey that has brought you to where you are today? Your fishing, hunting, outdoor journey that's brought you to where you are today on Bass and Brews from the very beginning to now.
Well, it all started when my at the time is my girlfriend. She told me she wanted to be a travel nurse and was like, "What does even that mean?" And didn't know anything about it. And she said, we're gonna travel the country and live in different states, and you're gonna come along and hang out. And I was like, all right, let's do it. I was working.
Time out. By any chance, are y'all into polygamy? Because I might be available if y'all are into that. And look, we don't even need to have any any kind of intercourse or anything like that. I can just live in the house and we can pretend that we're married.
I need a fishing buddy. So
there we go. If we put your wife's money together for us, we can probably get a really nice boat and all the fishing gear. And you've already got the social media content coming in, so you're making money on that. And I can cook.
Let's go.
and I can support us with this podcast.
Look
It's
at
going
this,
to cost
man.
your wife
So
$300.
I'm going to have to go out and get 2 jobs, is what you're saying.
Well, your wife
basically,
is going to cost your wife $300 a year to help support the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, back
so
to your story.
Yeah.
Back to your story.
But so yeah, man, we hit the road. We hit the road, and I was working, and she's like, "Are you ready to quit your job?" And I was like, "All right, I guess let's do it." And hit the road.
You say so, honey. Sure.
Yeah, and had no clue. Had no clue what it was about, man. I had no clue what travel nursing life was about, and we hit the road. And first contract we went to was Boston. We lived in downtown Boston, right by the gardens, like kitty corner from the gardens, and and talk about just a different world, And it was a whirlwind. It just every 3 months we'd go to a different state. What you got?
Where did y'all start this journey from?
We originally lived in Illinois, just outside of Chicago, southwest suburbs.
Accent makes sense now.
Oh, I thought it was Illinois, Nevada. Damn.
But yeah, man, just hit the road, and I was fishing, but I wasn't doing the traveling fisherman thing or anything for a little while. It wasn't until we I wish I would have started it earlier. We went from Boston to Florida, and then Florida to Alaska, and then we did the like the east, the West Coast, and then we were living in Seattle. And man, I enjoyed that ride, but it was a bummer. The weather was terrible. Everything was closed of fishing, and I got bummed out and kind of depressed, man. And I was like, I got to do something. I got to do something different, man. And I was watching a lot of YouTube and the fishing videos at the time, and a light bulb went off. I said, I could do this. I go, I'm traveling the country, and the traveling fisherman was born. And then just
did you fish as a child growing up?
Oh yeah. Started probably fishing as long as early as I can remember. I've been told probably 5 or 6 years old. And then
Is this in Illinois, right outside of Chicago?
No, that was in Wisconsin. I was born and raised in Wisconsin.
But we might be related.
It's the beard.
No,
I mean, you can't tell. You can't tell. I've got some Wisconsin accent in me.
No, just because you had a one night stand in Wisconsin doesn't mean that you guys got Wisconsin.
No.
One, it's not the beards because Randy's beard looks wonderful. It's well kept. It's long. It's pretty luscious. Yours looks like a homeless man is fighting with a raccoon on his face.
Well, I have a business, so I can't grow mine long.
But you can make it look like a homeless man's.
Well, a homeless people
Doing a
make
good
a lot
job.
of money begging. So if they feel sorry for me and give me business, then we're gonna roll with it. But for my grandma's from Cedar Lake area, right outside of Milwaukee.
Well, you should see the sign he's holding up. It says "Will work for listeners." I mean,
No, we've already tried to beg for listeners and we lost them.
We lost people on that one. Where in Alaska were you guys at?
we were in Seward.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh,
So we're 3 hours south of Anchorage.
Seward has
The base.
it's a very unique smell to it. Seward fucking smells. It's bad.
It's a
I thought it
processing
was-
plant.
Yep, that's like the whole town is fish processing. It smells like hot. It smells like the back room of a strip club every single hour of the day in Seward. It is fucking gross there.
Hey, have y'all
Cool
ever got
town,
a
though,
lap?
man.
Beautiful.
Hey, have y'all
Yeah.
ever got a lap dance from a pregnant stripper?
No.
That must be a southern thing. You missed
No,
your chance in Florida, Big Randy.
Yeah. I did.
Oh no, man!
Oh, you have?
Traveling strippers will travel, man, and so will I.
Did you get depressed enough to start stripping in Seattle?
Almost, man, almost. But that's right. It was like, hey, time to grow that beard and go to work.
Seattle has a pretty famous strip club called Deja Vu. It's right on Broadway. And it's got a big sign and it says 50 beautiful girls and 2 ugly ones. And it is a cornerstone of every young man's 18-year-old birthday in Seattle.
Big Randy, did you have a beard before, or did you start growing the beard out in Seattle when you became the traveling fisherman?
Alaska. Started in Alaska. I don't know why. It just was something, just that being outdoors and, in the mountains. And,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like shaving anyway. But it was like, all right, let it grow, man. And
What's
that's
the
when it started.
wifey think about that big luscious beard?
At first, when we met like years ago, and I had it not this long, and we were just friends and whatever. And then we got together, and she didn't like it, and then I shaved it, and then I came back, and she's liking it now.
Yeah, because you're bringing in income.
Yeah,
But I still owe her money though. I got to grow longer or something else.
yeah. So
Are you going to shave it
don't know-
locks for love? Get it long enough to do a locks for love?
If you guys don't know, you can find Randy on TikTok as a traveling fisherman, but you can also find him on beardsonly.com. And it's just called The Moist Man. And he does a lot of water-based activities with that beard.
And motorboating some bitch.
It's him and Brock. They're the Beard Brothers, just scooping up the ladies on OnlyFans.
What did your fishing look like when you started? Were you starting over? Did you have but by the time when you were young to when you became the traveling fisherman, were you doing any fishing in between there, or was there a hiatus and then you started it up?
No, never stopped fishing.
Okay.
I mean, there was times where when you be working and having the family and all that stuff, and but I never stopped fishing. You know what I mean? But then, like I said, once we hit the road, it just changed everything. And I really didn't, like I said, I didn't really realize the opportunity that I had traveling, what this was going to look like. And it was like, okay, she worked, I took care of the house, cooked and cleaned and did all that stuff. But I had all this time to fish, man. It was like, what are you going to do today? I'm like, I'm going to go fishing. What are you going to do today? I'm going to go fishing. You know what I mean? The world was my oyster, man. You know what I mean? As far as where to fish, what to fish for, trying new stuff, man. I'm still doing that today.
Were you on TikTok or any social media before that?
The Traveling Fisherman didn't start till, I think, like I said, around Seattle, and that
What
had
year?
been. We started traveling in 2015, Boston, Florida, Alaska. So it was probably 2017-ish, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that. It was a couple
Early.
years because normally it's, we do 3-month contracts, but we would do either 3 months up to, 6-7 months somewhere, and we go somewhere new.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, I'm terrible, man, at social media as far as editing and uploading stuff. And I tried with YouTube for a while, and things were doing good, and kind of had to take a hiatus from that. Had some stuff going on. My dad, he got sick and stuff. So we stopped traveling. We moved back to Illinois, moved in with the old man, took a break from social media and fishing, and then, hopped back on the road and got into Instagram. That started going good. And someone hacked me, man, 2 months ago, I think at this point, took over my account. So if you guys are interested in Bitcoins, you can follow me over there.
Hey, 2-factor authentication. We have talked about it on this show before. We got a live person here with a hacked account.
Yep.
Wolf of Walmart's going through some horrible bullshit because his shit got hacked.
Yeah.
2-factor authentication. 2-factor authentication.
Yeah. So that got taken over. I'm still trying to get that back with no luck. Started TikTok about a year and a half ago, I think. And I didn't even know about it, really. You know what I mean? And someone's like, dude, you should do TikTok. Try it. So I made a spoof video, and within, I think, like the first month, maybe it had almost 300,000 views. And I'm like, all right, I think I'm gonna try this. And then slowly started building up, and still coming into my own, man. I'm still trying to figure it out. But
hey, I got a tip for you. I got a tip for you to get your account back. Message the hacker and say, hey, I really want my account back. I'm going to send you some money. Send me a mailing address.
Yeah.
And
I'll send you some Bitcoins.
Get a box. Get a box and take a shit in it and go pick up all the dog shit in the neighborhood and mail them that. Because it is not against the law to mail Dookie in the mail.
That's interesting. I just learned something new.
Hold on. No. Let me correct that. You cannot mail human shit.
Yes, you can. They do it all the time. You just have to put biohazard sticker on it. Because bullshit, motherfucker. They have a thing that you can send your shit in the mail to test for colon cancer now.
Those are special packaging. But if you have like regular mail and it's got human shit in it,
but how are they going to know? They ain't opening your mail.
Sometimes they do.
Don't let it leak everywhere. I mean,
freeze dry it, man. Set, we'll freeze dry it.
No, it needs to be stinky when they open it, so we can't freeze dry it.
I had a point. I was going. Oh, so I have
Alex. I know what your point was.
What was it?
It's what we talked about when we wanted to have him on. How his TikTok is like all lives.
Yes. So. Yeah, what brought you into that? You're kind of this new, maybe not even new, but kind of this core group, I feel like, of creators on Fish Talk who are primarily live content creators. That's not to say you don't have great produced videos, right? But like you,
they're terrible, man. Come on.
No, they're good.
Even Stevie Wonder could see that they're not that great. Come on, man.
They do suck. Alex trying to be nice, but we're real on this podcast.
But between like you, Brocktonomus, Matty Ice, Tiny Two Poles, kind of, you guys make this like 4 horsemen of TikTok lives page also. So now we're gonna add 5. We're just gonna keep adding and adding. But like, what made you kind of push for doing the live as your primary kind of output?
It's kind of what I like to see when I'm doing this stuff, and this platform having that ability to do that. Now it's a real time. I can see what you're doing. I want to see that. I want to know what you're doing every day. Videos, I just don't feel like they get the point across. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I love being in front of the camera, and I'm just saying that not just because I'm comfortable at what I do. You know what I mean? And now I got this opportunity to, share whatever I know. I don't know much. I'm no expert. I'm no pro. You know what I mean? I just like what I do, man. And to be able to connect, have that connectivity with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had great success stories. People reaching out going, hey, man, I tried this and I'm catching fish now. I never thought I would use that before. And I'm like, that's awesome, man. Just to be able to kind of bridge that gap a little bit, I think, doing the live stuff versus all video stuff. And I'm sure there's a core group on that and a good advantage on that as well. But, and I always liked watching Bill dance growing up, man. I said, I'm going to have a show someday. And it's not even anywhere remotely close to that. But right. I'm like, at least I'm in the realm and I'm going in that direction, man.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever gotten a hug from one of your subscribers?
I've gotten lures, but never a hug.
I think a hug would be nice.
I think I would need a hug too. I would like a hug.
Fuck, Paul?
Does your wife follow you?
Well, of course.
And she doesn't hug you? That's kind of fucked up.
Well, I either she either watches me or I get a hug. I can't have both.
Then you need to block her. Then you need to block her from TikTok.
I need my numbers up, man. So anybody, because normally it's either I got one subscriber, my wife, and a bot watching me. So hey, man,
I think it's cool though. Yeah, I think it's cool because so like running the podcast, obviously we take like creators we like. Like we're not gonna put somebody on here that we don't like, but we kind of know
except for Matty Ice.
Well, yeah. No, you like him. I fucking hate Matty Ice. Matty Ice is up there in the pantheon of the worst creators on TikTok. Because the thing is, hold on, let me go on a Matty Ice rant. The thing is he lights his garage on fire for views, which is like it's very low brow. And then he has the audacity to say that he's a fishing channel, but all he catches are like 2-inch creek chubs on a ribbon dancer fly rod. Like, and then I was like, you know what? We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He seems pretty charismatic. Let's bring him on the show. And he's just, I don't know how anybody lets him carry a gun legally and in a professional manner, because that dude is a psychopath.
Fish, man, come on.
Alex is just mad because Alex had no idea what to do with me and Matty Ice acting the fool on his first episode.
Yeah. Yeah, and also the fish catching, I feel like Tiny catching fish out of his house in a bucket is more realistic than Matty Ice actually going out and catching fish. I'm pretty sure that those are all fake fish. Hashtag Matty Ice is a fake. Just joking, Matty.
Come on, man.
He's so mean. Alex
it was really funny.
Mean.
After the episode with him on, he sent me a text and he's like, dude, you should tear me apart on your next episode. And let's try to make this like a feud. And he hasn't done anything, but I have shit talked about him consistently. So I think he stopped listening to the podcast once he heard himself on it. And he realized how annoying he is, hence the no fishing content lately. So
where are y'all at currently, Big Randy?
We are in Lynchburg, Virginia, man.
Dude, you ain't far from me, Hoss.
I know. Let's go.
Look, at some point, we got all these hospitals in the Raleigh area. At some point, I feel like y'all might make it to the Raleigh area.
I mean, because how far? Is that where you're at, Raleigh? Right?
Yeah, I think we're 2.5 hours maybe from Lynchburg. Let me look it up. Alex, you need to talk now because I'm going to be looking something up.
He's never going to go to Raleigh because when he leaves Raleigh, he's going to be leaving with an extra person, and that's you. His perfect arrangement where he's got a sugar mama and he gets to be the stay-at-home caretaker, which, that's what I want to go back to. To all the ladies out there, all you stay-at-home moms, you guys do a great job. But I want to make sure that we're clear that Randy said that it's so easy to do that you can have so much time for fishing because it takes nothing to take care of a home and cook dinner. I just want to make sure we're clear. That's not our view on Bass and Brews. That's Randy's view.
No. That is not my view because I was a stay-at-home dad when the vid hit. Yeah. I was a stay-at-home dad and teaching my kids school. It was challenging and it was not fun. Right. And stay-at-home parents, the hell with that job. That takes a special person to be at home all day. And especially if you got kids at home with you all day too. Yeah. Woo, buddy, that's a whole ball game right there.
I'm like the old lady stay-at-home kid, man.
I'll tell you what, Paul.
You don't have anybody to push chores off onto. That really sucks right there. You have to do everything.
Apparently now I do. I pick you up and bring you down to Florida with us.
Exactly.
But I can cook and clean like nobody business.
We'll be
The
like
worst
Step
part
Brothers.
about the vid, I mean, there's a lot of bad parts, but the teaching the kids at home, and it got to the point where I was like, they'd wake up and they're like whiny and they're like, we want to go all these places. And I'm like, well, we're not allowed to. And then we have to do this school thing, whatever. And I'd just be like, oh, hey, our internet's down. They're going to do their homework independently. And I'd just do their fucking homework and just let them play. I was like, fuck it. Like,
See, Alex, when I was a stay-at-home dad,
yeah,
we learned how to make homemade soap. We rendered
Awesome.
down our own beef fat to make the soap.
yeah.
I took my kids out and we picked dandelion flowers for 2 hours and made dandelion wine. So my kids learned how to make wine.
I
made
wasn't
strawberry
a stay-at-home
wine.
dad. I still had a
We made
fucking
bread.
job.
We made bread. We did all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, no, I was still working. Like, the Coast Guard didn't stop doing its job because of what was going on. I was just home more often because I had that sweet schedule, but I was still doing 2 to 3 24-hour shifts in a week. So I don't want to hear it, Paul. I would have something to say to Paul, but he gets upset when I say it. So, listeners, you know what I'm going to say, and just insert that in there.
The first time I meet you, I'm bringing my grip stick and I'm breaking that bitch over your forehead.
I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
I am going to hug a fart out of you.
Probably. All right. I feel like we're getting off track, and we have to 30 minutes into it, and this is not going how I want it to go. So let's
Hey,
get back to what Bass and Brews is about.
We have a
Hold
new
on.
segment. We have a new segment, Big Randy. And for folks that are listening, you need to make sure you listen to last week's episode because Matt Pangrack from Bass Talk Live he's the one that thought of this new segment's name. All right. So Big Randy, I'm going to play you a clip. And the new segment is Bass or Ass. Tell us what it is when I play this clip. You ready?
Let's go.
Shit, wrong one. Damn it. I don't know how to make it stop once it starts. Hold on, because I don't know how to fucking make it stop.
That was ass.
That was ass. You are an ass host.
All right. I obviously don't know what my buttons do, so let me see. I don't have to run through these. Hold on. All right.
Also ass.
All right. Hold on. Here it is. This is it. Ready? Bass or ass?
Oh, God.
Ass.
Oh, that's a good fish. Oh. Who's going to who?
Bro, that is my favorite part of that clip is the who's going to who.
See, a fisherman that has fished grass before, that the song of our people, as Blaine, past guest, that coined it, they know. Good job. Good
Hey,
job.
listen.
Proud of you. All right, Alex, go with your line of questioning so I can fuck it up in a minute.
All right, yeah, no, but real quick, if any of you folks want to submit your YouTube videos with no video, just audio, we would love to take those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, good. I've been meaning to say that one too. We are terrible at announcements, but if you want to send us a clip of you reeling in fish, we need all the clips that we can get to do bass or ass.
And this is
And I've got a couple that I did not have to go search porn for that I have downloaded, but at some point
For
one
research.
of us. I'm going to sign in under the Bass and Brews account to go search it, but we're going to have to get some more. But yeah, y'all send us your clips, your audio clips in, so we can have some more segments of bass or ass.
Paul.
I got some good audio.
Hell yeah, dude, send it because Paul mentioned he did a TikTok a couple days ago. It'll be a week, whenever, but about like what do you guys want for next year on the show, and what I want is like more interaction with the listeners, and a way to do that is to bring you guys into the show. So I'm going to be asking a lot coming up here the next 13 months of we want these clips of you guys. We want like your funniest fails, and you send it to us and we'll load it up and laugh at you being a fucking failure. I'm down with that.
Nice.
Or catching a big fish, whatever. We want to include more of the listeners because this show is for you guys. This is I mean, me and Paul would sit here and still do it, but
yeah. And if y'all don't send us fishing content, I'm the only one on this podcast that produces it now. So, I need your help because Alex, I'm pretty sure he's probably forgotten how to load his kayak.
Man, it's been a hot minute. But anyways, let's get back on track to what this show is known for, the Bass and Brews Fishing Podcast. Big Randy, we're going to play Marry, Fuck, Kill. Do you know how to play that game?
I do. Yes, I do.
All right. So your options, and a reminder for folks, you guys know how it works, though, but you're going to have to pick one to marry, pick one to fornicate with, and you're going to have to kill one. And your three options are Bigfoot, aliens, or the Loch Ness Monster.
Ooh.
It's a tough decision.
Marry Bigfoot.
Oh, you got it. With a beard like that, you have to.
Fornicate the Loch Ness Monster, and we just going to go kill them aliens.
I feel like that's a standard half the way through. I feel like some guys really like them dolphin tight, so they go with the Loch Ness on the fornicate.
There's a lot of fornicating the Loch Ness. It's very weird. It's bizarre.
Because if I fornicate, we'll have the Loch Ness Randy. I mean,
oh, so we'll have a hairy Loch Ness.
Imagine finding that thing.
That's a Loch Ness. That's Loch Ness with a really hairy beaver.
Imagine Randy's face on a Loch Ness coot.
Wolf of Walmart, make that happen. We can't post it online, though.
Yeah, we can. Nobody knows what Loch Ness cooter looks like.
I'm pretty sure
They will. They will. Loch Ness Randy. I think that's going to be a good sticker, man.
I think what it looks like, it's not vertical, it's horizontal. And then with the beard, it just looks like it has a Fu Manchu hanging off of it. That's what I think a Loch Ness scooter. Exactly. Damn, that was a good. And why are you marrying Bigfoot? Is it just the beard or?
Because I mean, it's it's the everlasting like gobstopper, man. You know what I mean? Like, do we finally get it? And
here's what I think it is.
I would say out of all three that Bigfoot probably has the biggest titties.
Probably, but here's why I think Randy picked it. Is he likes to be taken care of. He's a stay-at-home husband, right? He just wants to go.
It'll be Bigfoot and Beardfoot.
Exactly. He just wants to sit at home in the forest, doing a little sweeping. You know what I mean? Sweeping the forest floor, making sure the hut's all nice. While Lady Bigfoot heads out to work all fucking day, scaring people, taking shitty videos. She comes home after a long day. He's right there, ready to rub them dogs. He's there. Yeah, he's a nurturer.
She done gathered all the nuts and pine cones and deer carcasses and
campers.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, as somebody who's traveled all over the place, right? Have you ever seen anything fucking weird? Like out in the woods?
I mean, not weird, but I mean, there's like a lot of stuff in Alaska, man. We had bears come out on us.
Okay.
Yep. Even one of my YouTube videos, we're sitting there fishing, man. And I got the GoPro on the chest, and I kind of look over, and my buddy's fishing right next to me, and I went, oh, and I pulled out the pew pew, and I can say that, right?
Yeah, you can say gun.
And well, I didn't know, man. You know what I mean? But
yeah, you're good.
And he goes, "What's wrong?" And I pan over, and there's a giant brown bear sitting right behind him because he's got into a fish, and we crossed over, man. He cut his line, and it was great, man. Fish, bear came out and grabbed his fish and sat in front of us and ate it.
Where's that video? I want to see that.
It's over on YouTube.
Bo, you need to clip that. That's TikTok virality right there.
We drove from Florida to Alaska. That was a crazy trip, man. 8 days. 8 days, man.
What the
fuck? That's bad as hell.
Yeah, it was cool as it was scary, but man, it was an absolute just wicked trip, man.
Did you take the ferry or did you drive up through Canada?
Yeah, we went up through Montana and then just drove through Canada, man. It was wicked. Yeah. But
I've been watching a lot of. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying we couldn't bring our noisemakers, through Canada. So by the time we got up there, we just had to get a bunch of bear spray. Yeah. And we took a little hike up the Mount Marathon, and it took a couple hours, man, to get up there. So we did that, whatever. Had a couple brewskis and some jerky, whatever. We're like, all right, we got to start heading back down, man. We're coming down switchbacks, and we're coming down. We're on the last little bit of the switchback, and you can kind of see the cars. And I'm like, I got to take a break, man. She kept walking, and she disappeared on me. And she came back around the corner, and I go, what's wrong? And she goes, there's a bear.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, man, like no. And sure enough, man, I go walking around the tree, and there's this black bear sitting there right in front of me. And we got trapped on it. He followed us in, man. He wouldn't let us leave. You know, I'm not Ranger Rick, man. I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I hop on the phone, man, and she's like, who you calling? I'm like, I'm ordering a pizza. I'm like, I'm calling the Rangers, man. I'm like, I'm ordering Domino's, man. Like, what? I'm calling somebody, man. You know what I mean?
What's your wife's name?
Maggie.
Maggie's like, hang that phone up, bitch. It's just a bear.
She's like, double cheese. No, but
I'm going to say, actually, calling the pizza man would have been the best move, because the bear would have ate the pizza man while you fucking got in the car and left.
It probably would have got the pizza man with the pizza.
Exactly.
And then y'all were safe.
No, they came up, man. They had to come up, both of them. And they had to come up, and you know, the bear he was a garbage bear. So garbage bears are dangerous, man. You know what I mean? Because it knew we had food on my backpack, and it wouldn't leave us, man. So they had to come up there, and they walked us down the mountain.
How did that feel, though, to have to call some dudes to come up and shoo away some wildlife because you weren't prepared?
It was crazy. I'm telling you, because he was probably, I'd say 15 feet or so. Before he was on us. Yeah. He was out and was like, I said, listen, if I have to let this go, you're going to have to fall down the side of the mountain. But there was nowhere for us to go.
Right.
He backed us up into like the side of like where the mountain was.
That's fucking crazy.
So, yeah, man. Yeah, it was a real deal.
Yeah, that's kind of scary. How did he feel, Alex? I tell you how he felt when he had to have some man come up there and escort him down. He felt alive.
That's fucking
yeah.
He didn't get his balls eaten by a black bear in Alaska the first day they were there.
Yeah, they're the fucking
a lot better. I thought it was gonna be better, man, because he took off and ran maybe about 25 or 30 yards almost, stopped though. And I'm like, all right, let's get rolling. And he stood up, man. He turned back around, and they got bad vision, but they got really good smell. Well, dude, he came running back and just sat down right on us again. It was like, no. I'm like, time to
maybe he was a friendly bear and he just wanted, a snack and a high five.
He was like, hey, boo boo.
Randy,
this is a traveling Randy.
Randy, I hate to say it, but he turned around because he smelt the bitch on you. He was like, I got this one. I got this guy. This guy's
wasn't that so much, or it must have been the beard though. There was a lot of good stuff going on up there.
You had some fried chicken left in your beard from lunch.
I was gonna say, maybe he thought you were Lady Bigfoot and he was just trying to holler at you.
Hey, big boy.
Yeah,
you got some pretty lips.
Alaska's a weird fucking place, because even if you don't see anything like crazy, right? It's just eerie that all that shit's there, and it will fucking destroy you at a moment's notice. Mm-hmm. Like, we'd pull into Dutch Harbor, and
Michigan.
There's exactly. The famous Dutch Harbor, Michigan. We'd pull in, and there's like a famous bar that we would always go to. At the time, it was the only bar in Dutch Harbor. And there's this fucking bald eagle, and it would sit at the smoker's pit. And and if anybody doesn't know, the bald eagle is a trash animal, as you said, because in like in Alaska, you can always find a bald eagle in a fucking trash can behind a Taco Bell.
They're everywhere, man.
Like, the motherfuckers are eating 7-layer burritos. They don't give a fuck, right? So this one would sit there, and you go out there and have a cigarette, and when you were done, it would squawk at you, because it wanted to eat the fucking cigarette butt. I fucking shit you not. This dude was addicted to cigarette butts. So we had one kid. It's like, it's late. Some adult beverages were had. Probably 19 too many were had. And he starts like teasing this bird with a cigarette butt. And this fucking eagle came in and chomped the fuck out of his hand like it was no business. He had 2 huge puncture wounds in the middle of his fucking hand. And and he starts fucking flipping out. He's starting to bleed. We're like, holy shit. And this fucking savage bald eagle hopped down, grabbed the pack of cigarettes that the kid dropped, and fucking flew off. He was like, "Yeah, I stabbed you, and I got your smokes, bitch."
Right.
Done.
Lights it up. You put the shades on. Just
Right? America, motherfucker.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, everything's brutal there. It is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's
Alex,
it's a fucking trip.
Alex, how did a bald eagle not swoop down and pick you up and haul you off? I mean, you're pretty lucky that didn't happen.
Yeah, so that joke, even back then, was made a lot to the point where we started. Obviously, I play around with how short I am. So it was like our second port call. So the first night of a port call is like Vikings just landed. Like it's a whole ship full of people running as fast as possible to the bar to get as drunk as fast as possible, right? We just get annihilated. Usually everybody's in bed by 11 because we've been out for a month. Nobody's got a tolerance, right? The second day, that's where you get real work done. That's when you start drinking at like 10:30 in the morning and you don't stop until 4 in the morning the next day. But that one, I had the best idea. It was as we're starting to drink, I pulled out and I had all this like line, small rope from the boat. And so I started walking around. And I had like carabiner clips on it. So I started clipping it to people. And it was clipped to my waist. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Motherfucker, you fat as fuck. I ain't trying to get carried off by a bald eagle." So that was my my safety harness, so to speak.
That's right. It was like the monkeys from the Wizard of Oz, the flying monkeys, man.
Exactly.
Hey,
they're like, we can't pick him up.
That's on point too. That's on point too. Since Lucky Bastard posted that monkey getting fed.
Oh, what the fuck?
It was weird as hell, but it was funny as shit too.
I watched that thing like 12 times. This little monkey eating ice cream. And I couldn't tell whether it was cute or whether I just felt weird. It was that man is giving Wolf of Walmart he's a whole different genre. I feel like he's really cornered the short. Yeah, he's savage.
He's savage.
I went out to dinner last week and I was showing some friends of mine who are not involved in fishing, not involved in any of this world here, this Bass and Brews world. And Amanda's like, "You got to see some of these fucking memes that his so-called listeners and friends fucking sent, like put online about him." And I started showing them and they're like, "Holy shit." I fucking love it. This is my taste of the military now that I'm out. Just the savagery of tearing you apart. I love it. Keep it up, everybody.
Hey, Big Randy, we've done a lot of talking. What do you want to talk about tonight?
You let me know, brother. Like I said, coming on here, just it's kind of cool.
I told you to hold on. I told you to let us know. You didn't
kind
come
of cool
with
talking
notes
about
or topics.
the whole traveling stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot of stories, man. But it's just been an amazing ride. Meeting a lot of cool people along the way. Have a lot of cool opportunities have come up, man. Got to fish out at the Gary Yamamoto Ranch out in Texas. He wasn't there, but got to hang out with his wife Beverly. Cool. That was really cool, man. Got to hang out at their house. It was cool.
Hold on.
How did that happen? How did you make?
Yep.
How did you make that happen?
Well, it's open to the public now. You can go there. But
their house, their house is open to the public.
No, well, it's where their ranch is. They got like the hotel part of it. They got like the main, the kitchen, and then they got their house. Well, nobody was there, man. There was me and a buddy. He didn't want to stay, so he took off. So I booked a room for the night. We fished all day, and we fished Lake Fork the day before, and he didn't want to stay. I'm like, well, I'm not driving, because at that point I was probably almost 6 hours from New Braunfels, Texas. We were staying, and she's like, "Hey," she's like, "Nothing's going on. She's like, "I got to go take care of the dog. I got to make some dinner." She's like, "You want to hang out?" And I was like, "Absolutely." I'm like, if Gary Yamamoto's wife says you want to hang out, I'm like, you better be like, "Yeah, let's hang out."
Did you get some free lures?
I did. I got a couple. Yeah, I got a few. But like I said, man, the coolest part was just sitting there with her, and she was just telling me all the stories about them, her being out on, fishing the tournaments, and them building the ranch and having everybody involved, man. And
that's fucking
it was
cool.
just, it was really cool, man. It was really cool, But and then being invited to ICAST a couple times, that's been cool, and had some opportunities present themselves because of that. So it's been a great journey, man.
Where do we go from here?
to the next state, man. Next journey.
Do y'all know where y'all going next?
Florida.
We're in Florida.
Around Sarasota.
What's the address?
Ugh.
Let's go, man. Y'all want to come down?
Man, Sarasota's rough. Sarasota's rough. The Panhandle area, that's a rough place. That's you got the Panhandle of Florida, and then you got the rest of Florida. That's a wild place there now. I fought fire
Tallahassee.
Showing up.
We lived in Tallahassee too. That's the Panhandle, man. But Sarasota's below Tampa.
That's what I said. That's what I meant. Doesn't matter. Geography is loosely based around what we want it to be.
Oh my God!
Y'all want to come down, man? I'm planning a fish talk meetup end of February.
That's awesome.
We're gonna be fishing the Everglades.
I would love to, but I have a business and a job.
No.
Gotta go, man.
Paul, that is so rude. He does have a job. It's to keep the home put together. Okay.
There ain't no way he keeps that house in check and does all this fishing too. I guarantee you, he's got maids everywhere he goes.
Poor Maggie.
Everywhere he goes, he hires maids to do the work.
My flying monkeys.
You've talked a lot of positives here, and it's always great to hear that. But this is Bass and Brews. What's the fucking worst place that you guys have had to do like a 3-month contract at? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have
for her or for me.
Well, Maggie's not on the show.
Maggie ain't here.
Right.
What's the worst place Maggie dragged you to?
Well, no, I mean, there's a lot of times where she's had, rough go at some hospitals, but I mean, for me, man, I would say probably Oregon or Washington, man. Like I said, we were 2 hours south of Seattle. It was just depressing, dude. It was Ording.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
Right below Puyallup. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, you said it right too. Congrats.
Yeah.
So I'm originally from there. I'm from Tacoma, Washington. I was born and bred.
Born in Tacoma, yes, sir. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. When I first went to Seward, I was like, "Holy shit! It's supposed to smell where I'm from. What the fuck is this?" It was a lot, but yeah, Ording is a pretty depressing place. It's Ording's kind of one of my favorite little towns though, because all the kids I went to high school with who got really hooked on meth and had kids at like 19, they basically all live there now. It's like kind of a congregation of degenerates.
Teen Mom show.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. It's like Teen Mom, but they didn't hide the meth. It's full on. Yeah, Ording's pretty rough because it
was depressing, man. It just the weather was rough. There was nothing to do, man. And we lived right on the Columbia River. Was it the Columbia, the river? But we lived whatever river that was right there. It was in our backyard, but it was closed half the time, man. So I couldn't fish there. It was awful, man. I just was like, no.
Do you have a boat, kayak? What do you fish out of anything?
He's got a flying saucer. He's got a flying saucer, which is really weird because I think that's why he killed the fucking alien, so he can get that flying saucer.
Yep. No, now I got, like I said, I got the Go Boat, but I got that through, being an ICAST this year. But no, prior to that, man, it just was a lot of bank fishing, or, sometimes I would get invited out on people's boats, whether it be from social media, whatever, people like, hey man, I, recognize you, whatever, let's go fishing. I fished a couple tournaments, nothing big, little tournaments along the way. Mm-hmm. But, like I said, now have.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
This is my podcast. You go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and they got the boat, man. So it's gonna open up a whole new world, man.
I was curious, is moving around that much? Obviously, when you have a social media following and you're going these places, you're probably going to larger areas. So it's not like you're going to bumfuck nowheres most of the time. Is that how, when you get there, do people know you and you say, hey, I'm in Lynchburg, and people start reaching out to you? Or do you start reaching out to people that you might know or you see on TikTok but don't know to reach out to fish? How do you get to move to a new place every 3 or 6 months and immerse yourself into the fishing community there?
Sometimes I'll reach out on social media. You know what I mean? I'll join like Facebook groups and be like, hey, and some people will know, they'll say, hey, I recognize you from here or there. And I'm like, hey, I'm coming to your town. You want to hang out? Or, it'll be social media. Before it was like Instagram, but like now I can't be part of that anymore right now. But
Until
know,
you send that box of shit.
yeah, right. But
Or
and
show your
now
butthole.
TikTok, man, you know, and you know, I met a follower out here like a month and a half ago. Just she was, you know, kayaking all the time, man, but she would follow me, and that's part of the algorithm, I think, you know, on TikTok, how that works. But yeah, we met up with them, and you know, she got me some lures, and you know, it's been cool, you know, and just going to iCast and.
It sounds like Randy cleans up with the ladies. He's sitting there sweet talking Gary Yamamoto's wife. He's got some lady in a kayak hand delivering lures to him. Like, you're just the beard is the win condition for you. It sounds like
It's the windsock. Controls the drift, baby.
Oh man, we need to get you in a bikini on your saucer boat with the wind blowing and get some like action shots of your beard blowing in there as you're fishing on the saucer boat.
Yes.
Only if we're gonna put that's got to be the logo. Then it's got to be the new logo for Bass and Brews.
Shit, you get in a mankini and you get some glamour shots out on the water, and we'll make it happen.
Dude, we won't make it the logo. We'll make it a 1 hour reaction special where we just bring random people in to be like, hey, what do you think of this? And it's just like
Bass or ass.
Bass. That'll be the new logo for Bass or Ass.
I would say that we could start another podcast called Bass or Ass, but this one's so shitty that they all would conglomerate together into Bass and Brews.
Well, no, I mean we could do Bass or Ass, but we'd have to figure out how to leverage the angling community and the sex worker community, and if we could somehow put those two together to do a podcast.
Well, TikTok, because they're both on TikTok and they're both active, and they
So what
both
you're
have
saying
more
is, like,
followers than what we have.
Yeah, no shit. So what you're saying is that we shouldn't. I shouldn't have ratted on that lady showing her butthole. I should have asked her to collaborate on the podcast.
You want to be on?
Yep.
You want to be on a podcast about fish, but we don't talk about fish.
Speaking of bikinis, I'm still waiting on somebody to send me a mankini that I can wear out on my kayak.
Christmas
It's
is
wintertime
coming,
down
buddy.
here, 30 degrees, 20 degrees.
We'll
I'll
still
wear
do
it
it.
now if y'all send it.
We'll still do it. I think it's cool though how you're mentioning before. So primarily bank and getting around. I think that's really awesome. And again, what you're saying about the platform, it gives us all this opportunity to kind of put ourselves out there. I think that's even better. Being a bank angler, most people are bank anglers, right? And it's cool to see somebody out there having good success, making good content and connections and all that, doing it primarily from the bank. That's really awesome. And it's a testament to where you don't have to be in a bikini. You don't have to have a big, shiny glitter boat. You just have to be entertaining to people and
have a big beard.
And have a big
That
beard,
helps.
yeah.
Yeah, because bank angling. I'm going to be 100% honest right now. Fishing from the bank fucking sucks. It's hard because sometimes you go to places and you got like a 1x1 little area to sit, and when you have anything that floats that gets you out on the water, it's so much easier to go out and fish and make content. Fishing from the bank ain't easy. You got the docks that there's 100 people already on. You got all the little bank areas that people are on, or shitty areas of the bank. You got a bushwhack to get somewhere. Like the folks, and we've had quite a few folks on here that primarily bank fish. Props to you, because to hell with it. I hate fishing from the bank. I won't do it unless it's taking my kid out and we're trying to catch crappie to eat. I mean, y'all folks that bank that make content, good content from the bank, fucking props. Because to hell with that shit, it is not easy. Because it's hard to catch fish sometimes from the bank. In the wintertime,
I mean,
how the
not
hell
for
you
me,
catch a
but
fish? Well, not everybody is as beautiful as you.
I'm saying, Nate,
the secret is just to take a strand and tie it around that lure.
that's it.
We already talked about that with
Who was that?
I forget already. It's like 3 episodes ago.
It was a hair
Who the fuck
jig.
was it? Yeah, it was the hair jig.
Yeah, the hair jig made out of
that
his
Tiny?
hair. No,
hell,
Tiny,
he ain't got no goddamn hair.
Tiny has no hair on his head, and whatever stuff he did, he tried to transplant to his chin, and instead he just looks like a poor man's Fred Durst. It's definitely not Tiny. Listen, Tiny, I'm sorry your stuff got stolen. I'm sorry Matty Ice did a black op and stole your shit and then mailed it to Brock so he can mail it back to you as a gift. But the reason he did it is because you have weird pubic hair, chin hair. I feel like I'm just going to be like I'm alienating all of fish talk right now. So I'm just waiting to see if there's backlash or if everybody's about it. We're going to find out.
Hey, I do have a serious note real quick. Y'all go check out our buddy Rocky LFG.
Yeah.
His puppy dog got sick yesterday and is kind of going through it.
Yep.
Y'all go look at Rocky LFG on TikTok and send him some love for his puppy dog.
Yep.
And take care and just send him some love and listen to his videos and stuff because we all got pets. Anybody that has had pets, especially doggies, they're like our little babies, our family, and he's going through a rough time. So go check it out and send him some love, y'all.
And also
Rocky, what?
Rocky
LFG. Lincoln Frank George.
And also you can stick around for his just random fucking content that is amazing.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
He goes on these like at this point I'm starting to call them like seasons, right? Like all of a sudden he'll have like a skateboard season where he's just talking about a skateboard shop up in Vermont and how he runs that, and then he'll shift to like ADHD because he's got that. He'll just kind of do like 3 weeks of talking about that. And then there's cream corn season, and then there's been just so much like the flooding, deviled egg season. He was on this deviled egg trend
Girl
before
dinner.
Thanksgiving.
Girl dinner.
Dude, he's
dinner.
Rocky's great. He's a big YouTube guy though, or TikTok guy. We try to get him on the show. We're not cool.
Where in Vermont was he?
I think he's outside of Burlington.
Because man, he looks familiar. Because we live just outside of Burlington too, and man, does he look familiar.
You
Well,
might
I mean,
know. So he lives up there. He does like odd jobs like carpentry, but then there's an indoor skate park, I think in Burlington. He runs that like as it's his business, but it's like a side deal just so he can, hang out with his friends in the middle of cold
looks
ass
familiar,
winters.
man. Yeah,
Dude, he's funny as shit. He's got some of the, I'm gonna tell you what, like last year the cream corn content was amazing. They had like a weird it was a really weird like mixed rain, but it was coming down and it was getting dyed from like the pollen, so it was coming down like literally raining and it looked like cream corn. My man's out there like scooping it up, eating it, and people are flipping the fuck out. They're like, that's acid rain. And then he went on a whole set of videos where he's like, the cream corn's giving me power, and he made like a whole fucking thing about it. It was phenomenal. Top notch. It's non-fishing, but he does fish too. He fishes out of a canoe up there. Because he took the pup out when the pup was sick to have one little trip just in case that was the end. So good dude. It's really funny.
Yeah, funny little story about Vermont. We first got in Vermont. We went downtown Burlington. I had my big tackle bag with me and all my rods hanging out of it. We're walking the boardwalk fishing, and the wife goes, "Is that Bernie Sanders?" And I was like, "I don't know." And here comes Bernie Sanders and a buddy of his, and he come walking by and he stops. He's like, "How's it going?" I'm like, "Good." He's like, "How's the fishing going?" I'm like, "Not good." He's like, "All right, man. It was just weird, man. That was just awesome. So random. It was so random. It's so weird, man."
Well, there's only like 18 people in the state of Vermont.
Yeah. Proven fact. Also, at one point did he stop and he go, "My name is Bernie Sanders, and once again, I'm going to
need you guys for your support."
No, he didn't say that. He said, "Once again, I'm asking you for a pack of worms because I'm out."
I'm asking if I could touch that beard, Randy.
Stroke it, bitch. Stroke it.
I went to Burlington once, and it was a cool town. It was pretty dope. I don't have any legal stories I can say out of there, so.
Yeah, I got some other stories, but I don't know how.
It's a dope little town. It's a weird little town. It's cool. It's like a mix of outdoorsy people and a shit ton of potheads, and everybody just kind of mingles together and kind of does their own thing. Yeah, it's cool.
It was a laid back vibe, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the states I would say I could settle down in.
The winters would kill me though. Like there's no fucking way I'm doing that. But
because the snow's above your head. I mean,
there it is.
Amandy would have to put you on her shoulders.
Man, there's 2 inches of snow on the ground. It's above my head. So I mean,
how tall are you?
I'm on a good day 5 foot nothing. No.
Oh, so you and Alex are the same height. There we go.
Yeah.
Short bitch too.
About 5'7", and if I try to put the beard up on top in a couple inches.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
You got about 6 inches on Alex.
That's also what she said.
Hey-oh.
Have you guys ever done like a really dirty joke in front of your in-laws? And then to watch, like, we were talking about something, and I was trying to help my father-in-law do something. And Amanda was there helping too. That's my wife. And she was like, well, how much room do we need? And her dad goes, oh, we need about 8 to 9 inches. And so I looked at her and I go, oh, so only this much, right, sweetie? And my father-in-law starts laughing, and my mother-in-law is like, oh, that's
mortified.
Just gross. That's dirty. I was like, it wasn't even like, it was about me. Like, it's not. But to watch his face, like my father-in-law is really stoic. Like, he doesn't really swear. He's one of those guys who's like, I can count on 2 hands.
What the fuck happened to a Mandy?
Oh no, she got that from her mom. They're both crazy Polacks who are just fucking degenerates. But he's like one of those guys. Like, I've been drunk. I can count as many times I've been drunk on 2 hands. But then I like to get him with some zingers. And because I'm not his actual right, and because I'm not his actual son, though, it pisses him off. So sometimes he'll just look at me and he goes, "You can go fuck yourself." And I'm like, "Whoa, holy shit, I got him!
You're like, well, I can't because it's I only got that much.
Exactly.
I can't. It don't reach.
But I like it when he does it because he has to wait till like no one else is around, so they don't hear him say "fuck." It's like the best thing ever.
Damn it! I had something I was gonna say before Alex went into the stupid ass story he just told.
Is it about that inflatable flying saucer? Because I still want to talk about that.
Talk about it, and I'll think of my thought.
Cool. Hey, so, like, honestly, how is that thing?
So far, so good, man. There's pros and cons to it. And talking to some of the guys behind the scenes that are working on stuff, they're coming out with upgrades to it.
Okay.
But I mean, there's pros and cons to it both. Like, I mean, it gives you the convenience of being able to kind of bring this thing almost anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But you either got to be super strong, man, and be able to pump this thing up, or you have to have a car that will allow you to plug it in and put the compressor into it and fill it up. Like I said, man, for someone like me, it's a game changer, really. Because we got the SUV, we cruise around every 3 to 6 months. Yep. I can't bring a boat because I can't park it maybe where we're going. You know what I mean? So it's definitely going to open up.
Is it pedal drive or motor driven?
Motor.
Okay.
So it's that big plate. It's a big donut, man. And you drop the motor right in front of you.
Gotcha.
You got the battery box right in front of that. And there's a couple things you got to do to tweak it. Like I said, I need to get a drift sock to kind of help with that. It's got the fins underneath it. You lift it up and you can put the fins on it. You know what I mean? But it's still, that's one of the things I noticed. So even if I'm cranking, crankbaits or spinnerbaits, you chuck it out there and you start winding, and it kind of does this a little bit. It kind of turns you into that spot. But, I'm still learning a little bit. But for the most part, man, I mean, it's,
it gets you off the bank.
Yeah, it gets you off the bank. Absolutely, man. And at the end of the day, I deflate it. I put it in a big, backpack. And off to the next spot,
it's packed
man.
away. Yeah, that's perfect. It's those things. Like, I'm always hesitant, right? Because it's inflatable. I'm always worried about hooks and inflatable, and I know they're better because Jake Harshman runs an inflatable kayak as well.
On the Susky. I mean, this rocky, shallow.
It's tempting fate. But those things look pretty fucking cool, especially with the motor in it, because I have seen some, because I think that hole in the middle has an adapter where you can drop a pedal drive with the seat in it to where you can almost treat that thing like a kayak.
I don't know yet. I haven't heard anything about that yet. But like I said, they're doing modifications to the seat. I know they're talking about some other modifications for that. So right now I'm not too sure.
Right, but I have that motor in there is dope.
Yeah, I've sold 2 of them, man, on TikTok so far.
Nice.
Just on the videos. So that's kind of cool. I'm excited to be able to get that out for other people that bank fish that don't have the big money to invest in a boat. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now, I wouldn't take that thing offshore, or I probably wouldn't take it out to Lake Erie, man. You know what I mean? But hey, you never know. You know what I mean?
Hey, when the wind gets blowing, somebody's going to think you're a fucking alien out there. When the wind's blowing, it's going to lift it up in the air. And
Right?
your big ass, your little short big ass is gonna be spinning around as well. Oh my God, there's fucking aliens out here on Lake
We saw the
Michigan.
Loch
Y'all
Ness
look.
Randy. There he goes.
I was about to say,
Look,
he
there's
fits-
Bigfoot on a fucking
There it
saucer.
is. He fits all of them. He fits all of them. He's a Bigfoot riding a flying saucer on the water like Loch Ness. He fit all of the animals in that question. That means that
Let's
Randy's
go.
fucked all of them. He's fucked all of them. Probably at the same time. It
More
was
than
one of
once.
those wild Orton parties. Jesus.
Hey,
You
on,
think-
on this podcast, we talk all the time about whatever floats that get you off the bank.
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter if it's the $100 kayak or the $5,000 kayak, or if it's a John boat or a bass boat. It doesn't matter. If you get your ass off the bank and you get out there to start fishing, you're going to start learning more. You're going to upgrade. You're going to do your shit. And it just puts you in a better position
It
to
does.
enjoy fishing more.
Absolutely. 100%.
All right. Well, all right. Hold on. I will say the $100 kayak, Paul, it's probably not very enjoyable. I know it
But
gets
if
you
they've
off the
never
bank,
been
but-
on something else before, if it's all they got, they don't know no better. You can't miss what you never had. That's
Yeah,
why
but
chickens that go from the
$100
chicken
hold
farm to get slaughtered, if you let them bitches out, they don't know what to do. They will die. You can scare one of those birds to death by just going boo. I mean, look, you can't miss what you never had.
Yeah, but $100 kayak, I'm trying to see what an actual $100 kayak looks like because
I was just giving an example. There's no $100 kayaks
I
unless you
found
got it used.
there's a $104 kayak. Walmart sells it. It is
8
5
foot
feet
and
it's
red.
5
Oh
it's
my
5
God.
feet long and bright pink. And it basically looks like a stand-up paddleboard.
That bitch
There's
is still
no
taller
seat.
than you.
Yeah, that's fine. There's no seat. That is you probably shouldn't go out in that and fish. But other than that, you're good. Yeah. Yeah, whatever it takes, because it does open up as cool as it was for you to build everything off bank fishing. Once you get off the bank, it opens up such a world of
Right.
opportunity. Yeah.
And it's different now, man. You know, even some of the stuff that I use and the techniques and what I'm comfortable with, I'm still going to use that, but it's a different world, man. You know, what's below me, how deep am I? I'm approaching different. Well, that's what she said, but you know, I'm approaching.
Oh.
Ew. I'm approaching different, stuff, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm really excited for it.
All right, from your bank fishing, obviously the folks that fish on a kayak have a way to put 8, 10, 12, 15 rods in their kayak. When you're going bank fishing, how many rods are you carrying with you? Or do you have them? Because you mentioned your backpack earlier with the rods hanging off of it. What are you using a backpack that carries your gear and your rods?
Yeah.
You know,
Three rods in the backpack, one rod in the hand. So 4 rods at all
Okay.
time.
And what kind of rods are those? Are you taking all bait casters, all spinning?
Yeah. 3 bait casters, 1 spinning.
There we go.
are they
know,
It's like the
2-piece or
mix.
1-piece rods?
All 1 piece.
So
Always.
all right, so if you you're in Lynchburg, Virginia, so the lakes you're fishing there have a lot of wood around them. How do you navigate? Do you just end up having to take all that shit out and carry
He
your
said
rods
he's so
around?
short. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
short
right, man.
people.
I'm like the
Yeah, we're
lollipop gill, man. You know, I'm like,
Yeah, we're
no
good,
fishing
dog.
with
Well,
you
well, no,
today.
short's even worse because now you don't have to worry about the trees. You got to worry about the tall grass and the shrubs.
Well, right now, I mean, when I'm bank fishing, I'm either fishing like the James River where it's pretty much open. I don't got to worry about stuff, but I'm using like a lot of ultralight stuff right now. You know, fishing the creeks and the tributaries. Or the couple times I did fish Smith Mountain Lake with the
it's not far
GoBo.
from me.
I'm open. You know what I mean? So I got to worry about that. You know.
Do you have waders? Do you ever do any like shallow wading to fish
Yeah,
so you can get off the bank a little bit and walk around?
Especially in Alaska. I got a couple fly rods, fly vest, saltwater stuff, man, just everything, gotta have it. I got it, and that's the cool thing. I'm constantly learning a new technique. I go to a new state. Hey, how am I going to approach this water? How am I fishing? What are they using there? So I'm my arsenal's constantly growing. I'm constantly learning something new, man.
God, that's like a ADHD angler's dream is
Yeah,
what you're
right.
living right now, because for 3 months is river fishing, and then for 3 months is fishing in the surf, and then 3 months is bass fishing in ponds.
And
That
3
is-
months
that's
of
pretty
fly
fucking
fishing in
cool.
Alaska.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty
awesome.
fucking cool.
That-
It is, man. Like I said,
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say no.
Yeah.
I'm stoked, man. I'm thankful for it, brother. You know, and
That's so cool.
it's been amazing, man. It is. It's
So-
I never take a day for granted, man.
All right, you've done a bunch. You've done saltwater, fly fishing, bass fishing, river fishing, all these different fishing. Which one do you hate? Which one is the one that when you move to a new location and you have to do this type of angling, you're like, fuck.
Haven't found it yet.
Okay, shit. Look, rainbow.
I mean, I'd be honest, man.
There we
I just
go.
haven't found it yet, brother. You know what I mean? It's
All right.
because it's pushing me into a different direction. It's pushing me. It's it's something new, man. I like to learn and I want to know. And it's up until we moved here to Vermont or Virginia, I never got into ultralight fishing until here. And now, I mean, I'm
It's
in it,
fun as
man.
shit. It's so
I'm
fun.
deep into it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
when
right.
y'all move, obviously I'm guessing that y'all don't have a lot of shit, right? You probably either stay in hotels.
I do.
Right. Let me finish my question. Now, don't cut me off. That's my job. You don't have a lot of shit, probably. You don't have furniture. You don't have all this shit. So you got like some personal belongings and then all your fishing shit. Do you have to pull a trailer to carry all this stuff? Because you got fly stuff, you got saltwater stuff, you got ultralight stuff, you got bass stuff, you got all this. So the way that I imagine it is that your wife has a couple suitcases of clothes, and then you have like a 5x8 trailer of fishing shit that you haul behind you.
It's getting close, man. We got an SUV and it's pretty. We're running out of room, and we like a month and a half ago we drove down to Florida to check on the condo, and we brought a bunch of stuff, primarily a lot of my fishing stuff that I wasn't using here, but man, we're running out of room even now.
Y'all need to start pimping out your SUV in an overland type situation. Start overland pimping your stuff out. Call Bobby Roast Beef and get your shit overlanded.
Also, maybe throwing it out there. What about RV living?
Ooh, yeah.
Well, we're still looking into that, man. The plan hopefully would be by the end of next year is to have a trailer, a pull behind, because that'll open up a whole different world for not only me but for her as well. Where we can go
she can take more than 2 suitcases. That's very nice.
and not have be surrounded by 20 rods.
Right.
Hey-o! That's a good thing or a bad thing. No.
Maggie's not a traveling nurse. She's just constantly surrounded by rods.
But,
hey, why don't y'all do the overlanding camping stuff instead of wasting all that money on a hotel or a condo? Y'all just overland and you camp everywhere. Y'all not
too
campers?
much shit.
Well, no.
He can camp.
We take company housing, so
I know, but couldn't y'all say, "Hey, we're gonna camp," and they're giving you $5,000 a month in per diem, and you just camp for $35 a night?
Where are you getting that per diem? Because we need to look into that.
Paul,
Alex, bitch, this ain't the government, and you ain't been no traveling nurse. You don't know how much he makes. Don't try do not pretend, right?
I'll tell you, it ain't $5,000, brother. You ain't even in the ballpark, Dorothy. Go follow the Yellow Brick Road, man, because
you're supposed to agree with me. We have good.
You're not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close. Or in the words of John Bender, not even close, bud.
Is that the guy from The Last Airbender?
Yeah, the Breakfast Club.
Oh,
he's dating himself.
Is it grits or biscuit and gravy?
Biscuits and gravy.
You said the Breakfast Club. What are we eating for breakfast?
You just said it, biscuits and gravy.
Don't worry, Paul. You'll find out soon when he comes and picks you up.
You're right. You said you can cook, so we're gonna find out.
I can. Hey, there's a misnomer out there. There's a misnomer out there that people think biscuits and gravy is a Southern food. You're fucking wrong. Biscuits and gravy is a Northern food.
Mm-hmm.
It is not Southern. It's Northern. So all you damn Southern people, quit claiming biscuits and gravy is a Southern food. It is a Northern food.
Well, I will say
we made it better.
Yes, 100%.
But it didn't originate here.
It did not.
Quit ruining it, man. Salt and pepper.
I've had biscuits and gravy in like Maine, which is actually where they're saying biscuits and gravy probably originated from in that area.
No,
right?
Nope. Not even close. It was farther south, but it wasn't south. Oh shit, he
Anyways,
left. He's got to go
done.
tinkle. Hey, Big Randy's got to go tinkle. Hey, Alex, you know what sucks about having a guy on here that does a bunch of traveling and doesn't have a real home? He has
we
nothing
don't
in
have
the
good
background.
Yeah, the background.
Yeah, there's nothing
Yeah.
in the background to
For
talk
us
about.
to make fun of. Yeah.
He does
Yeah.
have, it does look like a fanny pack hanging off his closet door, but that's it. That's
Well,
it. And he's got a rod that he hadn't used
There
here
you go. He's
recently.
got 2 rods.
Yeah, I don't know what restrictions you got, but I can't show you what's hanging up there. No.
Oh.
Oh
that's a-
shit! Some S&M, huh? Some
No.
bondage.
it's a GoPro. It's a GoPro just
Sure, yeah. It's
Yeah,
it's an indoor hammock.
Hey, so
outdoor.
since you fished all this weird stuff, or not weird stuff, all this different varieties of fisheries, and you primarily used to fish from the bank, right? So let's play
Quit
Mary Fuck.
saying right after everything.
I know. I'm sorry. Let's now it's throwing me off. Anyways, let's play Mary Fuck Kill again, right? I
Oh,
said it right
God.
there. Let's play Mary Fuck Kill again. But this time I want to talk about the bank anglers next to you. So you've got catfish anglers, trout anglers, or bass anglers. Which ones are you marrying, fucking, or killing?
Marrying catfish anglers.
I agree. Nope, I agree.
But hear me out though. After this,
agree.
I'll explain it.
Yep.
Fornicate trout fishermen,
Yep.
and we got to eliminate bass fishermen.
All right.
Hey, look,
No.
I'll agree. Bass anglers are the whiniest, bitchiest people out there.
They
It-
really
it's
are.
the same thing. You walk into you could walk into a bathroom with 30 stalls,
Yep.
and he's gonna walk up right next to you. That ain't no lie.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Well, he
you.
just-
That's like
I
the
can't-
best analogy ever, right there.
He
Yes.
just
Brother,
wants
I'm
to
telling
see
you.
how he just wants to see how you're dangling your worm.
Yeah,
You just
hold
see
on,
what
hold
you're
on.
using.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna play off this because that's a great analogy. You don't have stalls, you have a pea trough, and it's 100 foot long, and the bass angler is going to he's gonna touch elbows with you to go tinkle in the trough.
But you know who won't? The catfish angler, because he sits up, he throws that, whatever piece of shrimp, and he sits there and he never moves.
That's a
But
good
they
point.
also got like 65 rods
They
out
do.
there taking up 100 yards of fishing.
Well,
They
then I
do.
can go to the other. I can go to the other bank.
and their bait is not like you said shrimp. Like no,
Chicken liver,
normally
shrimp.
it's fucking gross what they're
Bluegill.
throwing out there. Yeah, it's
Hey,
fucking.
I
gross.
catfish too. I haven't catfished in a while, man. But when I catfish, I'll get some pretty nasty chicken liver going.
I mean, that's why you got kicked off of Instagram. You're catfishing. Uh,
Oh,
no. I don't see marrying them. I definitely don't see fucking the trout fisherman. That's for me. That's an instant kill.
they move, man. They move around. They don't, they usually, if we're talking flat fishing for trout, they're gonna walk by it and they're gone.
Do you
But a
fish a
bass
lot
fisherman
of?
will walk.
Go ahead.
No, I say bass fisherman will walk up right next to you, man, and watch you catch that fish, and he'll sit there. He'll square up with you. I've had it happen a few times, man. Even on, and it was like, I'm like, really, man? And I'll turn and say, hey, here's a teachable moment, y'all. And, because I don't want. I mean, I could get mad, but it's like, hey, here's a teachable moment. Don't be that guy. Don't do that, man. You know what I mean?
I think
Like it's cool.
you don't fish a lot of trout stocked areas, do you?
No.
That's why that comment went that way. Because if you fish I went out, it was like the second year I got back into fishing. I fished the opener of the trout season in New Jersey. And I've also fished like the Kenai. So I'll almost throw them into it, right? Where it's
Fishing, you know
combat.
about that.
It's
Yep.
combat fishing where all these motherfuckers are shoulder to shoulder.
You better have a helmet on.
No
And some
shit,
goggles.
especially Kenai. Kenai's fucking crazy, but like then these
Yeah.
dudes are like shucking out there, and they're literally like bumping elbows for space to try to catch a fucking 13-inch trout. Like it's cheaper to actually just go to the grocery store and buy a
Yes.
fucking trout.
Yes.
Because they're like,
I'm
I want
telling
to fill
you.
my freezer. And I'm like, it's cheaper. Just fill your freezer with that farm shit. Now, Kenai, that's a whole nother thing because you got dudes, one, you're chucking because those salmon aren't biting, right? Like, I don't know in, have you ever done the Kenai run?
Yeah, either flossing or snagging.
Yeah, so snagging's legal, right? So you have
Yep.
these like big treble hooks that have a weight on them. So you can and you're just waiting to feel something hit it. And then
is that where Mike Long learned how to fish?
Exactly.
I didn't know he was from Alaska.
Oh shit, Paul, that was actually funny. That was like your first funny one.
I mean, on point, man. Well,
Yeah.
hey, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
Yeah,
Well, that's what happens when you're the talent. Is that
Oh,
you
the
do put
talent.
out stuff out
see,
there.
I fucking told you, Randy. I told you in the green room, he's our diva. He's our Britney Spears. Like he's not popular anymore, but he's still really difficult to work with.
That's it. Bring
I
Matty
did-
Ice back. We need.
I did shave my
Oh,
head
no, we
one
don't
time.
Need that. We don't need that. But yeah, Kenai was like, when I went there, my grandfather was like, here's what you're going to do. You're going to get up there. You're going to fucking weasel your way in because you're a small child. Right?
Oh, they
You're
don't
gonna
care.
get-
man.
Oh,
No,
so
no,
this
no.
was last year.
Yeah, exactly. But this is so I could weasel, like, he's like, push yourself in between those two guys and anything you feel, swing for the fences. But that usually meant because you're only fishing in like a couple feet of water and you've got like a 2-ounce treble hook
You got
with
that
a
coming down anyway, bouncing off. Yeah. So
right.
you don't
And then
know,
when you
man.
set into it, if you don't get the fish, that motherfucker's flying back.
You're
and
setting
it's
into the
not-
guy next to you. No, right?
Exactly. It's fucking crazy. I mean, everybody should maybe do it once, the Kenai, because it is fucking crazy, right? It's a whole vibe to
Why
see.
don't you
like,
just get in the water with a net and go net them? I mean,
You
it
don't even
sounds like
need
the
to
do-
stupidest
Net-
fishing ever.
You can dip net though, but it's low. Like it's restrictions. Not
Yeah,
anybody can dip net.
so
It's only a restriction or against the law if you get caught.
no, there's tons of fish cops there. They're all over
yeah,
the
dude,
fucking
you're-
place, all over
Okay.
the place. The Kenai
Well,
run.
just tell them you had to
is-
go poop.
Those
The-
eagles
the-
will come down and snatch you and write you a ticket.
Yeah, right. The Kenai run's pretty famous because they all congregate in there right before they head up for the spawn, so you can nail them. Now you can go upriver of the Kenai like 2 miles, and then you don't even need a
Or-
net. You can
or
just
you can
walk
come down
in and grab them.
to the Russian River too. That's where
Yes.
we'll fish too. We'll come down that and
Yeah.
where the Kenai meets up.
Yep. So
Like
yeah,
the RUSHING river or the RUSSIEN river? Which
Like the
Russian
country.
are we talking
Like-
about?
The country.
Man, fuck that river.
no, that's like that sockeye run is insane. That pushes up
Yeah.
through there.
They didn't rename that river.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, I wonder why it's named that. Maybe because it used to be owned by them. But it was really funny. So we did that for like 2 days, and my grandfather's like, "Wow, this is fucking too much. We're gonna go upriver." And it was when he first moved to Alaska, so he didn't really know. And he's like, "Oh shit, there's nobody up here. This should be easy to get them." And yeah, we were able to get them because at that point they were already starting to decompose because they were already up the river. So you could literally wade into the river, grab them by their backbone, put your fingers all the way like into the fish and lift up this decomposing fucking fish. It was, yeah, it was gross.
it
But yeah,
taste good?
combat fishing. No, because no, you don't eat those. You
But
make
that's
those
when you go trout fishing. That's when you're trout fishing, man, because they're whatever eggs they're dropping, man. You come in with a bead
Hey,
right
don't be
behind them.
don't be giving that out. That's the.
But hey,
you're right.
hey, but I always talk about that too. When because I'll talk about a lot of stuff, man. Again,
Mhm.
none of stuff I do is a secret, but
Right.
I go, you know what? Just because I'm telling you, you
Yeah.
still got to catch them. Just
Yep.
because they're in there, you still got to catch them.
No, yeah, that was the move. So we went up there, we saw that it was really easy, and then we broke out the fly rods, and we caught some giant fucking bows out of there. Like it was
Nice.
insane.
Yeah.
Like these rainbows were like I don't know if you got to do any steelhead fishing when you're up there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
These things were
Yeah.
like steelhead size fucking rainbows that were.
Bruce, right?
And as much as I shit on fly fishing, I'm gonna tell you what, if you're in Alaska fly fishing, that's a whole nother fucking thing, and you should do it because it is cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun. Like the biggest one I got out of there was like I mean, it was double digit, if I remember right. It was like
Wow.
a little over 10 pounds on a
Rainbow?
fly rod. Yeah, a rainbow, who was exactly
Wow,
what you were
man.
saying, was sitting there picking up the excess eggs,
Yeah.
biting off
Yep.
the dead salmon, all that shit, right? And that thing took me legitimately a half an hour to bring in. It was dogging me like the whole time. I was 13 years old. It was fucking amazing. Like, it was like the coolest experience. Like, we're moving up and down the upper Kenai fighting this
Right.
fish. And it was just like one of those like core memory deals. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never
awesome, man.
forget
Yeah.
that. It was the coolest fucking thing. We got done. And like at that time, my grandfather had always taught me like we're gonna eat these fish, right? These are
Right. Yeah.
and that one was so big, and we let it go because he was like, listen, that thing worked you. It deserves to live. You got it.
That's
You tricked
awesome.
it and you brought it in, but we're gonna take some pictures and we're gonna let that thing go to go spread. And he explained like this is a big
Right.
one. We want to keep those, genetics alive, all that stuff.
Right.
And it was just cool as fuck, man. It was I wish I would have gone up there more, I guess. Like I went there from
Right.
13 until 18. No, Paul, put your finger down. I went there from 13 to 18, and then life, and I stopped fishing. I wish I would have kept going because
Right.
I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities to have cool experiences.
Right.
What, Paul? You ruined the whole thing with your fucking with you going to the bathroom and not washing your hands again. What?
I had sanitizer, and I had to go check out our buddy the elf came tonight for the
fuck.
first time, so I had to go look at the spread.
Shit.
So
I gotta remember.
Big
that.
Randy
Thank
probably
you.
doesn't know who Buddy the elf is, or the elf on the shelf is. But anyway, Big Randy, what did you do before your wife allowed you to travel and fish?
I was a salesman for Craftsman.
Oh shit! So you know tools.
I should. I'm one of the biggest one. I'm one of the biggest tools I know.
Yeah, I was about to say he knows crappy tools.
I do.
All right, my follow-up question to that: have you ever held a baby kangaroo?
Oh, what?
No, but that's on my bucket list. I aspire to one day.
Yeah. Have you seen those guys catching? What are they called? What do they call the bass in Australia? Two bruvs
Bass.
fishing.
Australia, mate.
No, they're called like
Two
Mora
bruvs
bass.
in fucking England, bitch.
No, he's not.
Yes, they are.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
We got to look, right?
Yeah. I'm looking it up. Go ahead. Cover the conversation there, talent.
If you were to hold a baby kangaroo, would you make a little pouch with your shirt so it could stay warm?
I'd make a
Or
little
would
pouch
you
in the
cuddle
beard.
it? Would you cuddle it up against your beard?
No, I'd make a little beard pouch for it.
Mm.
Or we'd open it up like that. Why not? We'd open it up and
Oh, he opens it up and everybody gets warm.
I've always wondered what baby kangaroo tastes like.
Have you ever
it's
had
the
regular?
other white meat.
Have you ever had regular kangaroo, Paul?
Not yet.
It's
I mean, The
it
only
sucks.
place I've seen it around here is in dog food, and I haven't tasted it yet.
It sucks. It tastes like freezer burnt overcooked chicken. It's not good. I was not a fan. Yeah. Was not a fan. We had a meetup with all these different navies and all that, and the Australians were stoked to bring us kangaroo, and it was fucking trash. It was not good.
Wow.
Yeah. Like the lutefisk from the Norwegians was better than fucking kangaroo meat. It was trash. I didn't like it.
The man with this terrible smell. Think of the hill where Bobby set
We
the
had,
church on fire and Cotton took the blame
we
for
got to
it.
eat seal.
Seal is how did you have it?
Just beef jerky, but it was fresh. Like they did it in the oil and like red
Yep.
onions.
Yeah.
So
That's
it
the
was
only
seal
way.
jerky.
Yeah.
Seal jerky.
Yep.
Hey,
That's
do y'all remember the movie Me, Myself, and Irene?
yes.
Of course.
Do you remember when Alex's counterpart in that movie stole Hank's wife? And he said, "Hey, I thought we would eat whale blubber together." And he said, "Yeah, she's gonna be whale blubber, all right, when I free Willie."
Randy, have you had whale when you were in Alaska or no?
No.
Okay.
We
It's
we
not
did
good.
we did pick a bunch of mussels though, man. One night,
Yeah.
one of the guys up there that worked at the facility the wife was at, he's a local, him and his kid, from like upper Alaska, like villages, and he was living down there. But and low tide, man, we would pick these mussels,
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of us picked them, and they went back to the house and got seal and got halibut. We were catching salmon right there, and we cooked all this stuff down at the bay. That was a trip, man. That was
It's
pretty
cool, right? It's such an experience. When you get to do cool shit like that there, it's really cool.
And because they're allowed to have seal, like anybody can't just have seal. They can take a seal. They're allowed to, and
an Alaskan native
yeah. Yeah, and they shared this stuff with us, dude. It was a great experience and an awesome backdrop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. A buddy of mine was stationed in Juneau, and my favorite story from him when he was there is he would get a 1 hour lunch break, and the Coast Guard office is kind of at a federal building in Juneau, but it's a block away from the bay right there in Juneau.
Right.
So he went out there on his lunch break.
Sitting by the dock on the bay.
Exactly, and he's doing that, and he hooks into like a pretty small, and by small I mean like a 25-pound halibut, and he brings that motherfucker on, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna be late from lunch break." So he, in full Coast Guard uniform, he dispatches the halibut on the beach, grabs that thing by the gills, walks into the federal building with this 25-pound halibut, takes it 5 stories up, and then processes that bitch on the watch floor.
Nice.
But yeah, he brought all that in, and he's like, yeah, there was like FBI, all these other people there, all these people in suits, and there he is in a Coast Guard uniform. He's got blood dripping down him from dispatching this fucking halibut. And yeah, they cut it all up on the watch floor. They processed all of it. And then when everybody got done with their watch, because it's a 12-hour shift they do, they all just went outside to the back of the building and started grilling up halibut. Everybody's families came out, and they all ate this like 25-pound halibut.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's a fucking real Alaska thing right there. That's fucking solid.
That's got to be my favorite fish too, man.
Oh, halibut?
Yeah.
It's so good. So you had it in Alaska, right? You had halibut?
Fresh caught. Yeah, we caught.
Can you eat it now elsewhere?
I usually don't.
Yeah, right.
And I have not eaten salmon anywhere else besides up there.
It's salmon.
I can't do it.
So what's really funny is my wife makes fun of me, right? Because I'm a stickler. I grew up in Tacoma. We had salmon probably 3 times a week, right? It's very common there. Mm-hmm. And then halibut a lot too. The halibut aren't huge there, but you'll get it pretty fresh from Alaska. It's almost as fresh as getting it from there. And then I moved out to the East Coast out here, and I refused to order any of those. And she's like, I don't get it. You're being a snob about it. There's no difference. And then the first time she came out and had both those fish, she goes, never mind. I fucking get it. I get it now. I mean, this is way different.
You fillet a salmon from up there.
Yeah.
And then you go to the store and you look at the color and the consistency right there, man. No way. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And halibut is so expensive everywhere else, right? Yeah. And halibut is so good because it's like firm but then soft, and it does not freeze well. I'm like a firm believer that it does not freeze well and becomes like it's mushy. It just tastes like cod basically to me, and I can't fucking do it. I'm not going to pay $27 a pound for something that tastes like shit. It's fucking atrocious. I can't do it down here.
And speaking of, being up there, the first time I got to try it's called a copper rockfish.
Yeah,
not sure the family, but so we were staying up there, and there's a place off of the bay. There was like 3 or 4 yurts, and it was kind of expensive. We had to take a water taxi, way out, and they dropped us off, man. And I didn't bring any fishing poles. I didn't know what was going on. We brought some wine and some, freeze dried food, whatever. And we get there and we're hanging out with the caretaker there, was like, hey, you want some wine? Want to hang out? And she's like, sure. And, so we're all sitting around this little fire and kind of explaining what we do, what I do. I fish. And she goes, well, I got like this little Barbie pole if you want to try to fish. And there was a couple kayaks there. And I'm like, all right. They had these big, like 1 ounce and 2 ounce big jigs, man. So I went out in the kayak and I just dropping them down, and I caught probably 25 or 30 of these fish. We came back and we were cleaning them all. And there was another couple staying there, man, and we cooked them up, and it was stove to cove, dude. It was, it was great.
Yeah, it's something really cool about
I said that backwards. Cove to stove, right?
Cove to stove. There you go.
Yeah, there we
It's
go.
okay. Dyslexia is real. You don't have to fucking pick on people.
I need to mirror myself on here, so maybe I gotta, hit the
No, that whole deal up there is really cool because like I grew up doing that. Like we'd go out, we catch salmon, and we come back in, and that's what we were grilling for the night. Or you mentioned mussels. We do a lot of mussels, clams, gooey ducks, like homemade, fresh, using gooey ducks to make clam chowder is the fucking shit. Like it is so good. They're the most phallic mollusk out there. It's just a big fucking wiener in the sand. You pull that bitch out. It's great.
And it was cool. Halibut fishing too, man. I never did that before. And somebody had tagged me on Instagram. The one of the local companies was giving away a trip.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, explain to us why you think you should win this trip, man. So I just went off on hey, I'm a traveling fisherman. It's a bucket list. We travel the country, blah, blah, blah. And man, like a couple hours later, I got a message of like, hey, meet us here in the morning. You won the trip. It was like an 11-hour day, man, for nothing. I mean, we tipped them and, we gave away some fish. I did that. It was all, but that was another amazing experience, man, too. Just
did you use an electric reel or no?
No, man. Yeah. And that was rough too.
Yeah.
And what's even worse is because I'm a left-handed retrieve, and all their stuff was right-handed. So I was dealing with that, the waves, everything else, man. And it was a great time,
Yeah,
until he dropped us in like 300 feet of water.
Yeah, no, it's this time I was 15. Yeah, it was a couple years he was there, but 15 we went out on a charter, and it was out of like 350 foot of water. My biggest out of that was a 75-pound halibut, but I did cheat and have an electric reel because they were like, he's so young, and I was like, fuck that, this is easy. Because you pull that bitch up, and then you just hit a button, and it goes,
right,
yeah.
Hey, Big Randy, if you got a $50 gift card that you had to use to rub my feet or Alex's feet, who would you choose?
Well, it'd probably be a shorter job, probably Alex.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I mean, my feet are actually, I think me and Paul might have the same
a short guy's got to stick together, man.
I get it, but I think you might be wrong on that one because I think me and Paul, like I have notoriously hobbit feet. I have very large, hairy feet. Paul's feet are Paul's feet don't even fucking do it. They're disgusting. So you did make the right. He's got corns and bunions. It's fucking disgusting. Yeah, they're so gross. Hey, sorry, headphone users for the vomiting. Enjoy that. Oh, they're so gross. Paul's got like medieval feet. It's medieval times.
You want to talk about a torture device? Those are it right there.
Dude, episode...
do y'all remember Bloodsport when they put the glass on their hands?
Yeah, that's you rubbing your feet on your wife.
Except she likes it.
Yeah, he goes to clip his toenails and the clippers break.
Actually, I'm fairly flexible.
Yeah,
I don't use clippers. I can bite them.
Oh, dude, I caught my youngest doing that last week, and I was like, "Stop! Do not do that, you feral child."
I can't, Alex. When you and I meet, and we camp together. When they're the same tent, I'm gonna rub your legs with my feet.
No, you're not. So when we meet, we should do a camping trip, and we should do kind of like we should do an episode of the podcast, right? It's just us camping. But we just do like a check-in, right?
Hey.
So like we'll sit down. Hold on. I'm brainstorming here. We're going to sit down around a fire. We're going to have a good time, have some brewskis, right? But then like every 10 minutes, we both break off like it's an episode of The Real World, and we talk about what we're really feeling at the time, and then we just merge it all together to see. Because it's going to be you're going to be all drunk, and be like, this is the best thing ever. I hugged a fart out of them. And then it's going to go to me, and I'm going to be like, this This dude's so fat, he squeezed the shit out of me. Like a literal turd.
Well,
He cut
look,
me with his toenails.
Yeah,
Bobby roast beef and the Dark Horse guys are apparently coming down in March.
Yeah.
And so, look, all you have to do is hop a ride with Zeshe and come on down and camp and fish.
Zeshe's not close to me.
But he's in Pennsylvania, so he's got to come through you.
Is he in No, he's in like Western Pennsylvania.
Bitch, don't matter. You're like 20 minutes from Bobby. Go hop a ride with Bobby. He's going to be
I'm
in
not
the overlanding
20 minutes.
vehicle.
I'm 3 hours from Bobby.
You know what? Close your eyes, and it's 20 minutes, 3 hours. It doesn't matter. Just pretend you're a Mandy making babies with you.
Just
close your eyes.
I got
and
it.
it gets
I made it.
and it gets by pretty quick when you close
That's
your
a good
eyes
move.
and pretend that it's not happening.
Yeah, so we're not far from each other, man. I was just thinking about that.
3
I have to blow
hours.
through. Yeah, I have to
3
blow
hours.
through and say what's up. Yeah.
No,
And how y'all go to Florida to Sarasota if you go 95? Which anyway.
This is the
Good
best part of
times.
the podcast when Paul finds out when somebody lives kind of close to him, and then he spends a good 20 minutes going, well, if you take the 95, and then you just move over to the 106, you could maybe be close to me. Paul's fed up with me. I love it.
I'm never fed up with you because you're not good enough to be fed up with. Hello.
Okay. All right. Well, Paul, we're getting to that time. You had an announcement to make before we hit to the shotgun round. But before we
Yeah.
get to your announcement,
No.
you want to do your
we got to do it
announcement
now.
first?
Have to
Okay,
do it
go
now.
for it.
Have
Let
to
me
do
hear
it
your
now
announcement.
because you can't cut me off on this because this is a
I'm
big
not.
fucking announcement.
Okay, let's hear
And
it.
it's 99.9% sure, and I'm announcing it now
Oh, this
so
better
that
be,
it goes live. Just listen. Quit
this
talking.
better be
because
about
it's-
Astroglide.
because when it goes live, it'll go live when this podcast drops. I'm selling my kayak.
Oh.
And I'm selling a couple handfuls of my fishing shit because I'm going to start making camping content instead of fishing. And to get some of the stuff I want to get, I need to sell my fishing stuff. So the announcement is this: I'm selling my kayak, I'm selling some of my fishing stuff, and I'm still going to fish, but it's going to be like on buddies' boats, or it's going to be like some tournament stuff with some team tournament that I'm going to do. And I'm going to start camping some more. So I hope it doesn't mess up my standing on this podcast, not fishing
will.
as much as I would.
Well,
Well, with the size of those feet, nothing's going to mess up you standing.
My feet are kind of small for my size, but that doesn't matter. My pecker works. But
I wish
the
you would've
announcement
talked to
is
me
I
about
am
this.
selling my kayak. It will be on Facebook Marketplace. When this podcast drops is when it's going to go live so that everybody that listens to this can go look at it if they want to buy it. But yeah, I'm selling the Hobie with the motor and the batteries. I'm selling all the boat shit. I'm keeping the majority of my fishing stuff. I'm selling 3 or 4 rods probably. I got a bunch of swim baits I'm going to sell. I'm going to keep the core stuff of what I like to do, but I'm going to start mainly fishing out of people's boats and,
wait, is
and
this
boat
for
tournaments.
real? Is this for real?
Yeah. I've already
Come on.
I got to get pictures taken of the kayak and shit and get it out there. And again, like I said, I wanted to announce it now so that Friday I will make it live next Friday on Facebook Marketplace selling the kayak.
I wish you would have talked to me about that. You're the resident tournament kayak
But
guy.
I'm still going to be doing some tournament stuff, but it's going to be
But
in the
not
boat
on a
world
kayak.
and doing team
but
tournament
not a
stuff. on the boat.
kayak guy.
Well, you still fish out of a kayak, so now I'll have more of a boat persona, and we'll do it. But yeah, I won't look. If y'all go look at the YouTube camping people, they have hundreds of thousands of followers, and some of the, and this is, and like the median guys in the camping world have 80, 100, 200,000 followers. The median of the fishing people have like 20,000. And I'm speaking primarily to YouTube. I have all this camping shit. We're gonna start doing camping with Kent Look Carter and fuck fishing because it sucks and I couldn't win anything. So I'm like, fuck it. We're gonna start making content on camping. Alex, I wanted to drop this because I wanted a true reaction from you. And so yeah. But the gist of it is when this podcast hits, it probably won't go out at 3 a.m. Friday morning, but Friday when this podcast drops, when you're listening to it now, by probably 9 o'clock in the morning, I'll have the shit on there and I'll have stuff. And if people want to just reach out to me for stuff that I have, holler at me. Everything's up for sale because I got to invest in the camping side of it.
Yeah, so also I'll piggyback off that announcement. I'm looking for another host of the Bass and Brews fishing podcast because that's the only thing.
It's Bass and Brews and Outdoors Bass and Brews Outdoors podcast.
That's not what it is. I brought you on specifically because you were a tournament kayak guy.
No, you did not.
I did.
Why did you originally bring me on as a co-host?
Because we've never
heard that story.
Because you were a tournament kayak guy.
Well, now I'm just going to be a tournament team bass boat angler.
Yeah, well, okay. So, anyways, 2024 it'll be a new look for Bass and Brews when Paul gets kicked off the show.
But we'll just be able to bring on
the Bass and Randy show.
It'll be Bass and Brews Outdoors podcast, and now we can talk about fishing, and I'll have all these connections in the outdoor camping world that we can bring on.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a big change.
That's crazy. That's a big change.
I'm going to have half of my garage is now going to be able to be used for something besides putting this kayak and shit in. I mean, it kind of sucks. It's been like 6 weeks of me trying to go back and forth on this stuff.
Yeah, I think it is what it is about that. But all right. Well, on that earth shaker, we're about ready to get to the only scripted part of the show. It's only semi-scripted. But before we get there, Robert. We've been calling you Randy.
Bass.
Dude, do you remember how stoked Coley was to hear that sound? Like she loved it for some reason. Anyways, we're gonna get to the next part of the show, but before we get there, Robert, I want to give you a chance to shout out Randy.
Okay.
Yeah. To shout out anybody you'd like to at this point. Because we're going to get real serious for the next couple minutes.
Hey, can we pause the show for 2 minutes? I got to go do something.
No, go do what you got to do.
Well, don't start the shotgun round.
Shut up.
Doing
Don't tell me what to do.
Before I go
you sold your kayak.
It'll be 2 minutes.
If you're a jabber hammer toe.
Yeah. You're fucking dead to me now. Anyways, this opportunity shout out anybody who's working with you, any people, whatever you'd like, because your whole career could end after this. So.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But what a way to go! No, but first off, you guys for reaching out and bringing me on the show. Appreciate it. Yep, for sure. Jaw Tech, I met those guys 2 years ago at ICAST, and that's the reason I was able to go to ICAST this year was through Colt and them, and great local company, great family, just great guy. Go Boat for for giving me the opportunity. That was a kind of a cool story. You mind if I just say share real quick?
Absolutely.
It was cool. Like, that the one day, I think it was first or second day at ICAST, and, was at the one section, and I saw this thing. I was walking around. It was like, wow, this thing is really cool. What is this? And so checked it out, walking up and down the aisles, went to the Jaw Tech booth. That's where, my buddies were at. And their booth was like 2 booths over. So I go on live. I'm walking around this thing. I'm talking, kind of explaining how this would benefit me. And I get off my live, and the owner goes, hey, he goes, explain to me what you just said. He goes, what do you do? I said, travel the country, and they got together, and he said, hey, you want one of these? And I'm like, absolutely. I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
So that's how that relationship kind of kicked off. And, it went from that to now, like I said, I sold a couple boats, and, I just think it's going to, continue to grow, I think, with them,
They're very cool.
And then just a shout out to all my followers, man. Everybody that has helped this journey grow, and everybody that follows along. And I appreciate that you like me. And hey, let's keep rolling.
Hey, is that it? Is that all the people you want to thank?
The wife, because without the wife, I wouldn't be the traveling fisherman. Like we talked about that before, man. She said it. She goes, I'm the traveling fisherman, and really, she is. If she didn't do what she does, I wouldn't be doing what I do. So that's really where it goes down to.
I like to make sure all the others. I can help along our guests make sure that they thank their spouses.
Hey, also, thank goodness to the nurses, because fuck that job. Holy shit. There's no way You could give me $5 million a year, and I would not be a nurse.
I would
I
totally
turn
do
it
it for
down.
$5 million a year. No problem.
Not
He's
me.
a liar.
Nope.
He would do it.
Nope. No, the hell I wouldn't.
I know.
I do
We're
not
gonna see
do
him on
bodily
Only Nurses.
functions.
And only
I don't
nurse?
do. I don't do blood. I don't do bodily functions. Like, I don't do that shit. Fuck
Hold
that.
on. It's just Paul in like teddy bear scrubs showing his feet off.
And you hear the call light going off in the back. He's like, "What do you want?"
Fuck your code blue. I gotta show these.
He's throwing them
toes,
gummy
boy.
bears and like high seas.
No. Look, if I was a nurse and the first time I walked in to somebody has shat themselves, I would pass out. I'd be on the floor in the corner, passed out. They'd have to be calling somebody to come support me.
Yeah.
I can't do it. God bless them, because there's no way in
you
hell.
barely get anybody to support you here, so that's a tall order.
Well, look at Alex. Alex couldn't hold up my left leg if it was cut off and he had to stop the bleeding.
It's because you're
You got
fucking
20
fat
pounds
as
of nail
shit.
in them toes, man.
Exactly. And now you're not even going to lose a little bit of weight from kayaking because you fucking quit that somehow.
I
But
gained
anyway,
more weight since I got this stupid fucking kayak than I did before.
You're going to gain more weight anyways. That's a green room conversation.
No, because
All
I'm going to
right.
be camping and hiking.
Yeah, we'll see.
I probably won't be on this podcast. I think Alex is a little bit upset. I wanted to drop it because if anybody knows anything about this podcast, is like we want the real reactions of what people have.
That was a real one.
Right.
Well,
I'm blown away.
You know what? I wanted to make it real.
I thought you
wanted
were going to
see.
say that you were going to get an old town. Like, that's what I thought you were going to say.
No, fuck
Yeah,
the old
that-
town and fuck a Hobie. That shit's gone.
All right. We are going to get to the most important part of the show. The Bass and Brews fans, listeners, brewskis as we like to call them.
Oh, no
are
intro
very-
music.
We're not there yet. They're a very welcoming bunch, but this is part where we're not only are we going to do it, but they're going to scrutinize you also. And you can hit to the highest level to become a serious angler, or hit to the lowest lows into the dark waters. This is the Bass and Brews shotgun round. That's a fucking song.
Bass.
All right, here's how this is going to work. We're going to ask you a series. We're going to ask you a series of rapid fire
ran out of breath.
questions. I don't need an explanation. We don't need an explanation unless we ask you.
He's already cutting me off with this ice shit. He is
Yeah,
pissed.
right. No. So, and none of this like politician style fucking answers of, because we've been getting this a lot lately where people are like, well, it's both. It's not fucking both. One or the other. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Texas or Wacky Rig?
Wacky.
My man. Crocs or flops?
Neither.
That's
Nope.
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 We're
We
we're
just.
two
I mean, two
questions in.
questions in.
Two questions.
Did you not
in.
listen to all this motherfucker just said about this?
Wait, what?
You have to choose
right,
one of the things
flops.
we say.
Flops.
That's gross. Your feet are out. That's disgusting.
You know, the bottom of his feet are brown as hell, walking around in water
No
and flip
shit,
flops
right?
all day.
Yeah, right.
With all the calluses on him, come on now. It's seasoned, baby.
It's seasoned. He's got
Like a
he's
cast
got-
iron pan.
He's got cast iron toes. He's well seasoned. Are you gonna spend more on a rod or are you gonna spend more on a reel?
Rod.
Oh,
Okay.
so you get your reels for free.
I mean, I only have to give you two. I mean, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I mean, rod.
Why?
I mean, because you're either going to buy a broomstick or you're going to have a noodle, man. You know what I mean? If you're throwing musky lures with a noodle, you're not going to be able to set that hook. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's got that rod's got to be able to present the action, and you got to be able to keep that fish pinned. You got to be able to set that hook. I don't know.
All right.
It's it just sounded like you were on the 70-plus-year-old Tinder page, and the woman's like, "Do you have a broomstick or a noodle?"
He was on
today's
silver.
technology.
He was on silversingles.com.
Hey, I was listening to the Backpackers Radio podcast this week, and there was a 71-year-old woman on there that said that her and her husband eat a lot of cooked greens, collards, kale, spinach, and that they don't have a problem with ED in their house.
Okay.
Well,
And-
who's
and
Ed? And why is he in their house?
And
Yeah.
ED stands for erectile dysfunction, which means your pecker does not
So because they
get
eat
pleasure,
vegetables?
does not get pleasurable.
Okay. Thanks, Paul. I guess this is the content we expect from him from now on. Now that he quit fishing,
I haven't quit. I'm not quitting. I'm just changing the predominant part
Yep.
of my
Yep.
time management will
Yep,
now
sure.
be spent upon camping and hiking and not fishing, but you can camp, hike, and fish just
Okay.
without a kayak.
Well,
He just
apparently
won't
you
do it.
can't.
Yeah, exactly. He won't. Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
No.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh.
I was worried about this one because he lived in
Uh-huh.
Vermont and it was pretty close to Quebec.
No. One, I don't think any of his answers are valid because he's from Illinois and they have deep dish, and that's fucking trash pizza. So it doesn't really matter.
Oh,
That's not
it.
pizza. It's pizza casserole.
It's a
It is not
fucking
pizza. It's casserole.
It's a casserole. Go fuck
We
your
got
deep
good.
dish.
We got good thin pizza too. There.
I like how your accent got real thick there too. You're like, oh, we got good thin pizza there.
Best pizza though, man. Boston.
Oh,
North End.
gross.
North End.
Oh,
Gross.
y'all have
Gross.
not look. Y'all have to go
Gross.
get the Aldi thin crust meat
Oh,
lovers
shut the
pizza.
fuck
It's the
up.
best pizza you'll ever eat.
Shut the fuck up. That is not. Anyway.
You haven't even eaten it, you little short bitch. It is delicious.
All right, you're gonna go out fishing for 3 to 4 hours, right? Would you rather catch 5 2-pounders or 1 7-pounder?
1 7-pounder.
My man, there it is.
Mhm.
But I do catch 1 7. I catch multiple 7-pounders. So
Yeah. So
Oh,
that
here we go. See,
baller.
big dick
Yeah,
in
good.
it. Big
Yeah.
dick in it.
You know what's funny is this question was weird with Matty Ice because I had to change it. So I was like, do you want to catch 1 2-pounder or 5 half-pounders?
He also did the Texas rig and wacky
He had
rig.
no idea.
Didn't work out well either.
I didn't. He wanted to use the Pennsylvania rig, which was just putting Amish butter on his wiener, and he dips it in the old lake.
He fishes for trout with corn on a gold eagle claw hook.
That's
on a
it.
broomstick. Using a
That's the
broomstick.
move, on a broomstick, not a noodle. Never a noodle. Speaking, shit, I'm kind of lost here on the questions. I'm still. throwing off
I'm
from
not
that
saving you tonight with these
That's fine.
questions. So
I don't give a shit.
yeah, I can tell.
all right.
You're terrible at
heading
this.
on-
Good luck.
You're heading on the way to the lake. Is it hype music or slow jams?
Hype music.
What is hype music for you?
Slayer. Pantera.
Slayer. Fuck yeah, dude.
Like the Titan
that.
Slayer Max.
Yep.
No, he's talking about Cowboys from Hell, Slayer.
Angel of
Hell
Death.
yeah.
Rain and Blood.
Mamas, don't let your babies grow up
Grow up
to
to be jabberhammers.
cowboys. Is that the cowboy you're talking about?
Shit. Did I get through them all, Paul, or no?
Look, when we polygamatize, you'll see where the hammer comes in.
It comes in when he's tenderizing the meat to make your dinner.
You're right in the back seat when I come pick you up.
All right. Have you you've been all over the place? Alaska, the West Coast.
You've been
Illinois.
everywhere, man.
That's it.
You've been everywhere.
Have you ever eaten beaver?
Nope. See, you fucked it up because you missed the question about eating shit before that.
No, I didn't.
But anyway, have you ever eaten beaver? Go ahead,
No.
Alex.
Have none.
No?
Oh.
Sorry, Maggie.
But
Go ahead, Paul.
You've been so many places where there's tons of beaver.
I know.
Like, I would have expected you. I mean, Alaska, they eat whales and shit.
here, man, here in Virginia, they're everywhere, man.
I know. You should. Hey, go grab one up, grab it by the back of the neck, jug it
They're road
in
kitties,
the
man.
articular vein, and drain it, and then skin it and put that bitch on the grill.
I am not mature enough to get through that fucking comment, Paul.
I know who's coming cooking at my next barbecue.
Oh, fucking.
Oh
not
shit! Nope,
Paul.
nope. We do not. No. See, you're fucking it up. Look, no, I'm not coming to your barbecue unless there's pulled pork.
Oh, he's coming. It's just spelled a little different.
For beaver, 100%.
Oh shit! I am not old enough, I guess, to handle that. All right, Paul. What question did I miss? Is that all of them?
Do you eat largemouth bass?
Oh yeah.
No.
Okay. Why not?
Dirty tasting. So much.
So
there's so much better.
You've
There's
had
so
them
much better
before.
fish to taste.
Have you had them before?
Yeah, not on my own free will, unbeknownst to me.
Okay, that's fair enough as long as you've tried it.
Right, and it was we went out fishing, caught a bunch of bluegills and a bunch of stuff, and it was kind of snuck in there on my plate, and it just was like, that didn't. One of these didn't taste like the other. You know what I mean? It was like, and then they told me what it was. It was like, nah, man. Hey, eat your own. If that's what you like, that's what you like, man.
I said the same thing on a titty bar.
What did you say?
Yeah, what did you say?
One of these things doesn't taste like the other.
Was it? Never. This is why we're not sponsored. Just so you know, this episode of Bass and Brews is brought to you by Degenerate Lubrication because Astroglide was too good for us. All right.
This
We were
segment
at
of Bass and Brews was brought to you by Vaseline with a hint of Vaseline.
You're fucking... I thought you were going to say this episode of Bass and Brews is brought to you by Vaseline with a hint of menthol, just so she knows you care. All right.
Speaking of donut holes.
What about donut holes?
Go ahead,
I don't
Paul.
know. We were talking about Vaseline. I mean, I figured.
Anyways, all right. We are at the end of the show. We got one more question. This is the most brutal one. Everybody's going to judge you the most.
I've got one more announcement to make before that.
Okay, go make your announcement. This has been the episode. The title of this episode is The Traveling Fisherman and a Shit Ton of Announcements. Go ahead, Paul.
I love you, Alex.
I love you too, big guy. As
That
much
was my
as
announcement.
as much as everybody's going to
And
judge
I love you. I love you
Randy.
a lot. Big Randy.
as much as everybody's
Motorboat son of a bitch. Oh.
This is the part. Oh my god.
What?
Okay, I'm done.
Because Randy said so.
Oh, savage. Snap a sore Slim Jim.
Oh yeah.
All right. Every great angler loves a sandwich. What are your top 3 sandwich proteins?
In general or when I'm fishing?
In general.
Bo, if you're gonna make a sandwich, what you putting on that bitch?
We obviously gotta go ham and cheese, right?
Okay.
Then we got salami.
All right, my man.
And then peanut butter and jelly.
I'm
Okay.
disappointed as fuck that halibut wasn't on there.
No, he's fine. No, because we just
Why?
talked about it. It's got to be.
I
it's
drink
gotta be
halibut
fresh.
smoothies, man, for breakfast.
That
Ew.
sounds fucking delicious.
Oh no, that's a creamy white sub. Never mind. All right, Randy, you hang out for a minute in the green room. Oh, you guys have been great tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're not going to do the fake cutoff thing, but we do have one more announcement.
Down